But first...
A familiar theme that introduces some of the sweetest music this side of heaven. The music of Guy Lombardo and his Royal Canadian. And beginning Monday, July 30th, NBC Bandstand brings you live 2 full hours of your favorite tunes by Guy Lombardo, Tommy Dorsey, plus wonderful arrangements by Freddie Martin and Wayne King. It's 4 top bands in person, joined by sparkling personalities like Burt Parks and Johnny Mercer, your Mr. Music. Remember, July 30th for the premiere of NBC Bandstand.
And now stay tuned for X-1 on NBC.
Countdown for blast-off. X-5, 4, 3, 2, X-1, fire.
From the far horizons of the unknown come transcribed tales of new dimensions in time and space. These are stories of the future, adventures in which you'll live in a million, could be years, on 1,000 maybe worlds. The National Broadcasting Company, in cooperation with Galaxy Science Fiction Magazine, presents
X minus 1.
Tonight, The Stars Are the Sticks by Theodore Sturgeon.
They call me Karen. It isn't my real name, but it suits my job. Karen, you may remember, ferried dead souls across the river Styx of Greek mythology. I ferried dead souls from the planet Earth out into the unknown of space. My little satellite station is known as Curbstone. I've been here for 20 years. Yes?
Karen?
Oh, Tween. What is it?
There's a ship landing from Earth.
Is it the regular shuttle?
Yes.
Okay, we'll check the candidates as soon as they're in.
I'll fill out the reports for you.
Thank you. Oh, Tween.
Yes?
Close the door a minute, will you? I want to talk to you.
Yes.
How long have you been here on Curbstone?
Oh, I don't know. I think 2 years.
Approximately. And you've been helping me here in the office for almost a year and a half. Have you thought about going back to Earth?
Well, yes, I thought about it.
And?
Well, I couldn't. I'd rather die. I just don't seem to belong there.
You'd rather stay here and wait?
Yes.
Even though you may never become certified for space?
One day it will happen.
Perhaps. I almost hope it won't.
Oh, don't say that.
Well, the shuttle should be coming in soon. Maybe this trip there'll be somebody aboard for you.
I have a feeling there will be.
I suppose I ought to explain a little about Curbstone at this point. We're a stopping point. Well, a jumping-off place would be more accurate. We get people from Earth who, for many reasons, cannot remain there. Some are antisocial, criminals of a sort. Some are misfits, individualists who cannot adjust to the rigid standardization. Some are just different, people who are physically different and who have been ostracized as a result. And a few are poets, those who have souls too big for the confines of Earth. They come to Curbstone and wait to be certified for space. And it's my job to send them out.
They're waiting.
How many of this trip?
2 men and a woman. One of the men...
Yes?
Nothing.
Oh, I've known you too well to be fooled. Why, you're practically glowing. Did you speak to him?
No.
But you think perhaps he'll be the one to choose you?
Well, I think perhaps the way he looked at me.
How?
Well, he didn't think there was anything funny about me. He just looked.
There is nothing funny about you.
Oh, you're trying to be kind.
You should know me better. I'm the original Billy Goat Gruff.
Oh, I do know you better. You have a kind heart.
Enough of that. Ask them to come in, one at a time. I watched her walk to the door, and I thought she was beautiful. She was, but not in a way acceptable to the eugenics department back on Earth. Tween was an albino. She had silver skin and hair, and ruby-colored eyes. If I hadn't been such an old, fat fool.
This way, please.
Thank you.
This is the senior release officer. He'll check you in.
Thank you, miss.
Your name, please.
Well, don't you know it?
No, I'm afraid Judd! Good Lord.
Hello, friend.
Judson, after all these years.
I understand they call you Karen.
Yes.
Oh, good. I'll call you Karen.
Well, what in the name of misery brings you to Curbstone?
Oh, I'm a candidate.
But you, of all people, you had a good position and enough money. You didn't get into trouble, did you?
Oh, the sort.
Of what sort?
When I was your student at the university many years ago, you taught me to enjoy my individuality. I tried to teach my students the same thing. The authorities wouldn't stand for it.
I see.
So I decided to take my chances in space.
Are you aware of the risk?
Well, not fully, or I probably wouldn't be here.
Well, then let me acquaint you with the procedure here on Curbstone. Look out that window. What do you see?
It looks like a spaceship on a launching platform.
Exactly. That ship is aimed at the outer galaxies. It has enough fuel to reach its destination and land, but not enough to come back.
I see.
The people who come here to Curbstone have to be certified before they can take off in one of those ships.
Well, how does one go about being certified?
There are 3 requirements. You must pass a physical examination and a mental examination.
And the third?
You must find an agreeable partner for the trip.
A partner?
A partner of the opposite sex who is willing to share her life, or death, with you from now until eternity.
Well, that could be rather difficult.
When the Earth authorities agreed to Operation Curbstone, it was decided that it would be a method of colonizing the outer galaxies with Earth people. Therefore, these ships are built to carry 2 people.
I see. Well, suppose I choose somebody and she doesn't want me.
You wait.
Just suppose I pass the physical and the mental test, and I even find a partner. Suppose we get into the ship and are launched into space. What are our chances?
Come here. This board shows a light for each ship that is en route in space. There, you see that one? That's a couple named Fort and Mary Ellen. They went out together last week, headed for the Deneb systems. As long as the light shows, they're all right. They haven't been destroyed by radiation or piled up on some asteroid or gotten into a time warp. We know from our years of launching couples here on Curbstone that 46% of them never make it.
And of those that make it?
We don't know. They have the equipment for survival, of course, but who knows what they'll meet on some strange planet.
And still they go out, huh?
Still they go out.
When do I take the examinations?
Well, you can start tomorrow if you like. I'd like to talk over old times with you right now, but I have to check the other 2 passengers you came up with.
Certainly.
Tween, would you come in, please? Tween assists me here. She, too, is waiting to find a partner for the trip.
Yes?
Tween, this is Judson. Judson's an old friend. He was a student of mine many years ago.
Very happy to meet you.
Yes, I know you are.
Tween, tell the others to come in, please.
Yes, sir.
A remarkable girl.
Remarkable looking, at any rate.
Well, Tween will tell you where your quarters are. I hope we'll talk soon.
Well, I hope so. Oh, by the way,
Yeah?
that light on the board, Fort and Mary Ellen?
What about it?
Well, it just went out.
I was happy to see Judson. My memories of our association were pleasant ones. As he left, the other 2 passengers came in. The man was young, dark-haired, and slick-looking. His name was Wald. The woman, well, she takes some describing. Her name was Flower. Her voice was like a cello, and her figure was a walking demand for the revival of the now extinct profession of Peeping Tom. Let me be honest, I didn't like either of them. That takes care of your documents.
How long will it take us to be certified?
Well, that depends. If you pass your test, it can happen in a week.
And suppose we don't pass our tests?
You might be here a year, 2 years. There's no limit. You can keep taking the test, or you can return to Earth.
Earth? Oh. Well, is there anything to do up here? I mean, excitement.
That depends on what you consider excitement.
Anything we haven't already tried. Isn't that right, Wald?
We decided to come up here, Mr.
Call me Karen.
Karen. How quaint.
Anyway, we decided to come up here because we were bored with the routine on Earth.
You're aware of the risk involved?
You mean we might not make it? Well, that's life, isn't it?
Well, for some. For others, it's death.
I don't like that kind of talk.
You'll attend an orientation session tomorrow. I'll have my assistant show you to your quarters. Tween.
Yes?
Come in, Tween. I want you to meet Flower.
How do you do?
And Wald.
Well, Curbstone is exciting already.
Something different, darling?
Oh, shut up.
This is Tween. She'll show you where you live.
Oh, a pleasure. A distinct pleasure.
There was something decadent about Wald and Flower, something almost reptilian. I couldn't believe that these two would ever step into a ship and risk the trip to space. Of course, I could be wrong. Boredom drives people to risk many things. At the session the next day, I watched my 3 new arrivals. When it was over, I stood talking to Judson. Well, still want to go out?
Yes.
Picked out a companion yet?
Oh, yes.
Really? Well, you haven't met anybody yet.
I've met the person I'd like to go with.
Mind if I ask who?
Your assistant, Tween.
You don't disappoint me, Judd. I fell in love with her the first time I met her, too.
I haven't even talked to her yet, except to say hello and where's the commissary, but there's a quality about her like, well...
Like a cool breeze on a hot summer's day.
Well, you are smitten.
At my age, I can afford to be romantic.
Oh, excuse me, am I interrupting?
Not at all. Judson, you know Flower.
Yes, we met on the ship coming to Curbstone.
I wondered if you were busy.
Me?
You.
Well, not really, no.
Good. Then you can take me down to the recreation room for some methyl caffeine.
Well, I don't use it.
That doesn't mean you can't take me.
Well, you're Mr. Wald.
Wald and I are just very good friends. Besides, he's busy right now. He's being shown around the satellite by this gentleman's assistant.
Tween?
That's her name. The peculiar one. Coming, Judson?
I guess so. You excuse us?
Certainly. When I saw Tween the next day, there were stars in her eyes. Good morning.
Good morning.
You're laughing.
Am I?
Your eyes are.
I'm happy.
Good.
I think it won't be long now.
Before what?
Before I'm certified.
Oh?
I've met someone who really likes me.
I see.
Can you guess?
No, who is it?
Well, you know the dark-haired young man who came in yesterday with your friend Judson?
Wald?
Mm-hmm. We went down to the ship together, and he asked a lot of questions about it, and then we started to talk about us. He says he's wasted his whole life flitting from one diversion to another.
Really?
Now he says he's looking for something with some meaning.
You like him?
He isn't afraid of me. He doesn't see anything wrong with my being different.
I thought he was with Flower.
Oh, he says he and Flower travel together because of habit. They're both bored and looking for something. Or someone.
Well, as long as it makes you happy.
He kissed me. Do you know that no man has ever kissed me like that?
You enjoyed it?
Oh, yes.
Did he say anything about going out into space with you?
He said he could think of no one he'd rather go with.
And when is he going to sign the certification?
Well, he felt we ought to get to know each other better. For a while, anyway. He's right, don't you think?
Yes, I think it would be better.
Karen.
Yes?
I love you very much.
Why did you say that?
Well, because it's true. I mean, there's something so kind and understanding about you.
Don't let it fool you. Underneath, I'm the same as anybody else.
No, I don't believe it. Why, they picked you for this job because you have such compassion. You could never hate.
Could you?
I don't know. I never have, but... Well, now I don't know.
That's because you're in love. You can't love really unless you can hate.
I don't believe that.
Oh, I just invented it to sound as if I knew the answers. Come on, I'll buy you a drink to celebrate the big event. I watched her sip the drink, the tones of her skin coming and going with the pulse of her blood. I thought to myself, you're going to be hurt, Twin. You're going to be terribly, terribly hurt. And I wondered if perhaps she didn't know it. Well, Tween, another couple out into space. Maria and Clint. Will you record it and have another ship brought up to the launcher? Tween.
What? Oh, sorry, I was thinking of something else.
Wald?
Sort of.
How long has it been now?
3 months.
Long time, huh?
Well, he wants to be sure.
And you? Are you sure?
Oh, yes.
Nothing to do but wait, then. I have to go over to the hull division. Will you take over?
Yes. Sometime I, too, will be speeding through space, and I'll be a tiny light on this board.
Hello there. You mind if I come in?
Oh, not at all.
Where's Fatso?
Karen? Oh, he isn't that fat.
He's fat enough. Where is he?
He went over to the hull division.
This is a nice layout.
Would you come to see me or the layout?
You know I came to see you. Matter of fact, I wanted to talk to you about something.
Well?
The party tonight at the rec center.
Well, what about it? We're going, aren't we?
I can't make it.
Was something wrong?
I'm meeting somebody else.
Oh.
Flower.
I see.
Oh, come on, now don't look so hurt. Flower and I have bummed around together for years.
Well, I thought she and Judson...
Oh, don't be ridiculous.
Well, they spend all their time together.
Oh, you don't know Flower. She likes to experience new things. When they get to be old, she tosses them away. All except me.
And you? Do you like to experience new things and toss them away?
Look, I'm sorry, Tween, but it's just the way I am.
Like Flower.
Like Flower. We're two of a kind.
Would you do me a favor?
Why not?
Make it a clean break. Don't try to see me again or tell me any more lies, even though I want to hear them.
Okay.
And thanks.
Thanks.
For these 3 months, even though they've been make-believe. At least I've had them.
Well, I'll see you around.
Yeah. I'll see you around.
Hey.
Oh, Karen. Karen.
Oh, no. Just let him flow.
He doesn't care about me. He never has.
I know.
And he's going back to Flower.
I know. I saw him leaving.
Oh, what'll I do? He's the only one who ever wanted me.
No, not the only one. Now there are two of us. The question that kept going through my mind was, what next? How long was Walt going to hang around Curbstone before he decided to go back to Earth? I couldn't believe he'd have the guts to go out into space. But I had underestimated Flower.
Well, the prodigal returns.
Don't make funny remarks.
Tell me, darling, what brings you to my room at this late hour? Could it be that you miss me? Or has little Miss Tween given you the heave?
Shut up and give me a drink. And don't act so self-righteous. You've been having your fling with this Judson character.
My. Jealous, too.
Oh.
I thought you and I agreed a long time ago we'd never make any claims on each other.
That was a long time ago. Frankly, I'm getting bored with this satellite. Let's go back to Earth.
I'm bored with Earth.
Well, we'll go someplace else then.
I am going someplace else.
Where?
Out. Space.
Oh, come on now, don't be ridiculous.
Oh, I am not being ridiculous.
Do you know that only 46% arrive? And if you get there, heaven only knows what kind of monsters or poison atmospheres get you.
I know, but there's a certain thrill in the risking.
Oh, and when did you start feeling poetic?
Since I started talking to Judson.
Listen, Flower, don't try to trick me. I know you too well. You're 100% too selfish to risk your pretty skin for some poetic feeling.
Well, listen to me. You and I have been together for years. We're very much alike. Now I'm telling you that I intend to go out. I want you to sign my certification and come with me.
You're mad.
No. I think maybe if we get away from everything out there, we'll find each other.
Oh.
We'll have a chance to love and be decent like ordinary human beings. Oh, well, don't you see? We've been destroying ourselves for years. We're getting older now. Please try to see it. A clean start, a new life, huh? Well?
This fella Judson has really been filling your ear, hasn't he?
He's a kind person. He doesn't think I'm worthless.
You kill me, girl.
Walt, will you come with me?
No. If you want to wreck yourself, go ahead. And who, pray tell, thinks enough of a cheap character like you to sign her certification?
Judson.
What?
He said he would go out with me. And I intend to go.
I certified Judson and Flower that same evening. They were going to leave at midnight. I was working late. Come in. Well, Flower, I thought you and Judson...
We're not going. At least, I'm not.
Oh?
Judson decided he didn't want me along.
He did?
Here. He left this note for me. The story of my life. Nice girl, but who wants to marry anybody like that?
Let's see. I'm going alone. Don't try to stop me. It wouldn't work. I'd always look down on you, Judson. It doesn't sound like him.
Sounds like every man I've ever known. Except Wald. Wald doesn't judge me.
Except Wald? Where's Judson now?
Locked in the ship. He's leaving at midnight.
3 minutes. Listen, you wait here.
Where are you going?
To see if I can reach that ship before it's too late. A man of my size and age shouldn't run, especially when he has a bad valve in his heart. But I covered the distance to the takeoff ramp like a track star. As I hit the edge of the ramp, I heard Tween's voice screaming at me from the control tower.
Karen, look out! You'll burn! Karen! Look out! Karen!
I reached the door just as the rockets were beginning to warm up inside the ship. There wasn't any way to get in except to blast. There's only one way to stop a ship from taking off once the combustion chambers are operating. You have to get the dampening rods into the chambers and stop the chain reaction. It took a lot of beef, but I've got a lot. I looked around the control room of the ship. Judson was strapped into the pilot's chair. The controls were preset for automatic takeoff. I went over to him. He was dead. His head cracked like an eggshell. Judd, I know you can't hear me, but I swear to you, I'll get the one who did this.
Really? Don't move. I have a gun on you.
Wald, you're a pig. You're a living human pig.
Thanks for the compliment.
To take the life of a man whose only act against you was that he wanted to help Flower?
I can't afford to lose Flower.
Don't you think you've lost her already?
Not at all. She thinks Judson is going out into space without her.
I knew he wasn't capable of writing a note like that.
It doesn't matter.
Just how do you expect to get away with this?
Quite easily. Judson isn't going out alone after all.
Meaning?
He's going to have a companion. You.
It won't work, Wald.
Once the ship is headed for the stars, there won't be a shred of evidence.
Okay. You've got it all figured out.
That's right. Now turn around.
You have the gun. All I've got is this. Stop it! Drop it! Fat men can move amazingly fast, Walt.
What are you going to do?
Do? Nothing much. I'm just going to certify you, Walt.
What?
For a flight into space. There are things you can do to a man if you know enough physiology. Pressures on the nerve system that can immobilize him for hours. I did them to Wald. Then I set the controls of the ship again and went out. I was breathing hard. Took me a long time to make it up the steps of the control tower, where Tween was waiting.
Karen. Oh, Karen, I was so worried. I thought you'd be burned. And then when Wall went in...
I'm okay. Let me sit down a minute.
What happened?
Nothing much. I had to stop Judson from leaving alone, that's all.
But why?
Well, Wald decided to leave with him.
What?
That's right. He finally repented. He knew that if he stayed around, he'd just make you unhappy again. And so he asked me to stop Judson until he could join him.
You mean he did...
Any second now. There go the engines.
He had a spark of decency in him after all. I knew it.
Yes. In a way, he's a sort of hero.
The ship is trembling now. There they go.
Maybe she knew, maybe not. Anyway, she had loved a man, and now she could love another. She came over to me and leaned over and kissed my mouth. Her lips were cool. Then I knew that I could live with the viciousness of what I had done. When you're old and fat as I am, the kiss of a young girl can make you human again. They call me Karen. They forget what it feels like to be denied two worlds instead of one. And they forget something else, too. Karen was more than a boat pilot. He was an executioner.
You have just heard X-1 presented by the National Broadcasting Company in cooperation with Galaxy Science Fiction Magazine, which this month features a story by Theodore Sturgeon, The Other Man, which tells of the hardest decision a man could face, to do his job well and thereby aid his bitterest enemy. Galaxy Magazine, on your newsstand today. Tonight, by transcription, X-1 has brought you The Stars Are the Sticks, a story from the pages of Galaxy written by H.L. Gold and adapted for radio by Ernest Kenoy. Featured in the cast were Craig McDonnell, Patsy O'Shea, Dick Hamilton, Charlotte Manson, and Bob Hastings. Your announcer, Fred Collins. X-1 was directed by Bob Maurer and is an NBC Radio Network production.
The music of Freddie Martin, live weekday morning starting Monday on NBC Radio.
Ah, crap, that's my cue. Hey, good morning. How are we? Hey, good morning, Joey. Back in the big Virginia. What's up, brother? I hope you had a good flight. Didn't have to listen to any squalling babies or smell any stinky feet or anything. Well, all right. Right on, dude. I'm so glad you came. Honestly, we had such a good time with you here. Yeah, fucking awesome trip, man. I can't wait till you come back. We're gonna go see the aliens this time. The aliens. You didn't see no aliens when you was out looking at stars? You didn't see no ships or some weird stuff in the sky? Because it happens out here, man. I don't know how many times I've gone over to an Airbnb to talk to somebody about something or fix something or to do something. And they've said, hey, man, did you see those lights in the sky last night, man? I'm like, what lights? And they're like right over there, out in the sky, man, over the base, man. There's all kinds of weird lights and stuff. And I'm thinking, all right, these guys were on some bad mushrooms. We got a lot of reports of weird shit going on in the sky out here. So, it wouldn't have been surprising had you seen something. I don't know if you saw something, though. Did you see something? I saw the moon. No, that was me with my shirt off. So white. Oh, man. Crazy. So, Joey brought me this shirt. Tatsuro. Yeah, I gotta remember. Yamashita. Tatsuro Yamashita. Some beautiful music. I thought I'd heard it all from the 80s. This shit rocks. All right. It's one thing to think you know all the music from the 70s and 80s, but that's just the United States, Canada, maybe England, right? You don't even know all of what's in England. You don't know crap of what's going on in Japan, right, in the 1970s and 80s. All we know is what, TV? They were kicking ass. That's some great music. Check this out. He brought me 4 records for my record collection. Is that fucking awesome or what? Tatsu. This guy is the shit. I have one more album to listen to. One more album. Boy, man, that was a lot of fun. We listened to so much music. That was cool. I got to watch my favorite movie with Joey. Over the Edge. About a bunch of kids gone bad. What a fucking movie. Got to be my most favorite movie of that genre, that era, that period. The music, the kids, the partying, the similarities to my own childhood is just fucking amazing. Yeah. Say the last album that I'm going to listen to, that's your favorite? Right on. Daddy. Yeah, man. And we're like driving. On the way back, Joey's like, goes to my daughter, you want to put on some of your music? She's like, no, that's fine. And if she's not like saying, I want to put my music on, please let me put my music on, then she's enjoying it. Because she's the first one to say, this crap sucks. Let me put my stuff on. No. She was quiet the whole way. Yeah. No, she enjoyed the music. She's open like me. She'll listen to anything as long as it's good. As long as it's good, we'll listen to it. If it's crap, take a lap. Come back when you're good. Oh, man. But Tatsuro Yamashita, that is some fucking kick-ass, kind of a jazz fusion, kind of a pop jazz fusion. It's just some great fucking shit. Just some great shit. Japanese elevator disco music. I don't know. It's hard to describe. It's just some bitchin' shit. Well, what do you call it? What the hell do you call it? I call it music, man. Fucking A. Some kick-ass music. Let's see. I spent all morning yesterday working on the graphic for that T-shirt. I had to rework a graphic, and spent the whole morning changing it from red to black. You would think it would be easy. Well, geez, just change it to black. What the fuck? No, it's not that easy. Computer programs like to go big. When you change a color, it adds on width and depth to it, right? It's like, oh, I don't want it any thicker. I just want the color changed. So I had to go back and remove a bunch of extra stuff. It was a pain in the ass, but I did it. I got it in, got it to them. Real happy with the way I did my graphics. Makes it easier for them to do their stuff. City pop. Okay, so this stuff is called city pop. Pop. You know what? That's kind of like what Harry Styles plays, man. It kind of feels like city pop. You know? It does. We should have listened to some Harry Styles while he was here. That's some good stuff right there. I can't wait till Harry puts out another album. That ought to be interesting, right? Or I can't wait until Lucas Nelson puts out another album, right? Because he's just separated from the band, and he's on his own now. So he must be going to put out an album with a bunch. I think he's going to use a bunch of people from Nashville, right? I think he's going to use a bunch of the old guys. I'm really hoping that he does like a young old album where he gets some of them old guys from the Nashville and some of them new kids from Nashville, and kind of does a kick-ass LP. What do you think, Ace? Totally. I'm surprised you're still awake. Man. That's kind of a long journey. You know, we're like 5 hours in the car, and then several hours on a plane, airport. Gosh. I was gonna say I don't know how you young kids do it, but that's how you do it because you're young kids. It's easy. Like dumping my daughter off in downtown Vegas and saying, "All right, I'll be back in an hour or so." I never thought about doing that before, right? I'm like, hell no, I'd never dump my daughter off in Las Vegas and drive away. And there she is saying, "Okay, just dump me off and drive away." I'm like, how do I do daddy stuff if you're not here? If you're there and I'm here, how do I dad? Ha. Totally. How indeed. Well, you do it like this. You're afraid. That's it. You're afraid all the time. When the kid's not around, you're afraid all the time. Yeah. Kid's not afraid. Kid's like, fuck, I do this shit all the time. I go to school. I go to a university. This ain't shit. It's like, wow. Wow. Yeah, so they had this awesome day at the festival. My daughter's still beaming about it. She's really, really... And then, of course, last night, or the night before last, she goes out to another show here in town and goes to see Hawthorne Heights. And she gets a photograph with the singer. I'm like, all right, that's my girl, you know? Hang out with people. Get those autographs and those photos, you know? You only live once. Life is short. Have fun. She's at school all the time. When she's out having fun, she needs to have fun. I'm talking fun, not, let's go out and be stupid. She's She's one having fun kind of kid, you know, and she has good, clean fun, and that's important, you know. That's important. I had enough dirty fun for about 18 people, okay? All before I was in my fucking teens. So, no, I've done it. I've done enough. She don't have to do nothing else. All she has to do is have fun, go to school. I've already done the bad stuff. I've already done the, geez, we don't want to do that, do we? Yeah, I've been there, done that. Yeah. Don't want to do it again, and I certainly don't want to have it repeated in my genetic stream, right? No. Mm-mm. But it's you know, it's like, wow. Yeah, having Joy here was pretty freaking awesome. Pretty awesome. I've never been into people and new people and that kind of stuff. Not, you know, most of my life has been like that. I've just been kind of hiding from the world. And it was quite an experience. It was really, really neat. Thank you, Joey. Thank you for coming by. Thank you for hanging out. Thank you for putting up with our weirdness, you know. He's probably going to say, these were the weirdest people I have ever met. I just hope he can say, they were also the nicest, you know. I can only hope. But probably not, because we were pretty weird. We're kind of weird. I think we're so weird because we're so laid back and normal and so relaxed. I think that's what makes us weird. Is that it's like, whatever. You know, we're like the whole family's like, yeah, whatever. Sure, that's cool. You know, we don't really, there's like no drama. This is like a no drama household, and that's hard to find, I guess. I don't know. But if I had to categorize us, it would probably be a weird, normalish, yeah, weird and normal, but so normal we're abnormal, or so abnormal we're normal. I don't know. I guess we are a weird family, though. Yeah. My dogs sure loved Joey. Tootsie sat in this chair all day yesterday waiting for him to come back. Just sitting there. Just sitting in this chair where he was sitting. Just sitting there waiting. Sam jumped over on the day bed where he napped. And he's just waiting. It's like, is this guy coming back or what? What the hell? Yeah. Pretty cool. Pretty cool stuff. Yeah. Or Chewini Tootsie. She just fell in love. Every time she comes out, she's like, where is he? Oh, there he is in the chair. And just comes, puts her feet up on him. Go on, let me up, let me up, let me up, let me up, let me up. If he doesn't pay attention, she'll just jump up. You got to be ready, because all of a sudden, boom, she's in your lap. It's like, hey, what the hell? Yep. Oh, Tootsie. Oh, my dogs. Yeah, we got weird dogs, too, because they're kind of laid back, you know, and they're really friendly. Yeah. And a kind of a weird house, because it's kind of like beat up and falling apart, right? But we make it work. I love my life. I love my house. I love my friends who visit. That was pretty cool. And having a new friend to come and visit and spend time and to hang out and have all of that time to get to know each other and stuff. Wow, fucking cool. You know, I'm different. Joey's different. We're like two totally different people. Yet it works. Why? Because we have similarities. We have some great similarities. Music being one of them, all right? He likes to watch people go blah, 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 blah on YouTube. I like to go blah, 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 blah on YouTube. It's like a match made in heaven here. I give him a hug as he's leaving, and he's like, oh, we're going to do this now? And my daughter's like, do you want a hug? Oh, I'm supposed to ask? Jeez, I'm a hugger. I say we're all huggers. And then, of course, my daughter is. But then she's like, is it okay? Do you want a hug? And I'm like, yeah, give me a hug. Bring it in. Come here. Bring it in here. And he's like, jeez. Old fucking kook. Remember, my middle name is Weird. All right? I'm not like weird. I'm just a nice guy. Happy-go-lucky. I never was a hugger. I used to hate people to touch me, right? And then I found out that that's like the closest you can get to somebody without like having sex with them is a hug, right? And it's like that's a great physical contact, you know? You express love. That's it. A hug expresses love, caring, you know? And I'm a loving guy. Loving spoonful. No, I just think it's important that if we can hug somebody, we do, right? Sometimes they don't need it. Sometimes they don't know that they need it. Hugging is good. Kids, little children, they should be asked, do you want a hug? No, get away from me. Okay, that's cool. I'm going to hug you anyway, and I'm going to hug you until you stop crying and shake it. No, that's wrong. I know. I don't hug for vengeance. I don't hug out of anger. I'm not going to threaten to hug you. I just hug you. Come here. Let me give you a hug. Oh, you don't want a hug? Okay, that's fine. I'm going to hug you anyway. Nah. And then, of course, we listen to so much music on the way up and on the way down. And then here, it's like, you're going to have to write some of this shit down. Because, yeah, I'm going to be doing some research. I'm going to be doing some, saving some stuff to some playlists. You know, maybe I'll make a Joey playlist. This is what we listened to when Joey was here, right? And most people would think, God, he only does these weird voices and shit when he's on YouTube. No, I'm like all this all the time. I'm like this. Ask Joey. I'm like this all the time. It's it's tedious for my wife. She's like, oh, would you shut the hell up already? Just watch the movie. I can't. I'm sorry, I can't. You know, I'm not sorry that I'm not sorry that I can't. It's who I am. You know. I got a limited time on this fucking planet. I'm going to use it the way I want to fucking use it. Period. If I want to go blah, 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 fucking blah, that's what I'm going to do. I ain't hurting nobody. All people have got to do is just cover their ears and go blah, 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 right? And then they don't have to hear me. Or they can you know what's really neat is they can just turn me off. Hit mute. Change channels. Get up and walk out the door. Honey, where you going? Honey. Oh, I thought we was watching a movie. I was trying to, you bastard. Shut up. What do, you know? I can't help being funny, all right? I can't help having funny in me. I can't help having a funny bone that won't fucking quit, okay? I find something funny, I'm gonna say it. I'm gonna point it out, all right? I like funny ha-ha. I've had so much funny my whole life. I like funny ha-ha. Funny ha-ha. Isn't she like a native warrior princess? No, that's Minnie ha-ha. Ooh. I see. No, you don't. If you saw that, I wouldn't have to explain it to you. Give me a break, dude. Oh. My face wants to sneeze, but Ace won't let me. Ace, let me sneeze. All right, whatever. Whatever. So, we shall be heated or healed. And Tallahassee, why do I have Tallahassee here? All hail West Texas. Sunset Free. I've got a lot of stuff here that's kind of written in code, I guess. I'll have to go, hey, when I wrote this down, do you remember why I wrote it down? Of course he probably will, because I was asking him, what am I writing? But I don't have a really good attention span, so I'll be talking about something, and then I will forget what I'm talking about, like right in the middle of talking about it. Yeah, the brain. The brain. The brain. It works really, really weird, right? The brain is weird. The brain is weird. And then when your brain is like screwed up from like brain trauma and years of drugs and depression, loneliness, yeah, your brain gets a little weird. But that's okay, because we're all a little weird. Oh, Mountain Goats album. That was... Which one? Tallahassee, We Shall Be Healed, All Hail West Texas, Sunset Free. They're all, right? All of them. I get it. So I need to switch this around. Okay, now I kind of remember what we were talking about here. Okay. Transcendental youth. All right, so they're a bunch of young transgendered dental hygienists. Transcendental, get it? I kill me. Transcendental youth. Yeah, young transgender dentists. That's what I get out of it. Sunset Tree. Okay, tree. I'm thinking, free? What the hell? Thank you, Joey. He's like used to this old guy. You better correct the old guy, but don't make him feel stupid because he's old. Just say, no, you got it wrong. My daughter, she never makes me feel guilty for being old, right? She's like, no, Dad, do this. No, Dad, it's over here. No, Dad, that's wrong. I mean, she's just matter of fact. She doesn't put any emotion or any like, oh, geez, you again. How many times do I mean, it's like she's not talking to a kid. She knows that. She knows that she's talking to an adult who's just, not all there anymore. Yeah. So she's real polite about it. She never makes me feel guilty for being old and not all there anymore, right? My wife, she'll give me shit. You dipshit. How many times do I got it? And it don't matter how many times, honey. It don't stick. It don't work. And my daughter gets it. Well, of course, she's a psychology major. So she gets it. She deals with people individually on their level. She doesn't even realize how good she is at what she's going to school for already, right? If she decides to, she would make an excellent psychologist, psychiatrist, counselor, somebody to just sit and talk to, right? Because she never has any judgment. She never has any preconceptions about anything. She just, all right, let's talk, and she's just so cool, It's just like, wow. I'd love to have her as my shrink. What am I saying? She's already my shrink. She is. Whether she knows it or not, since she's been born, she has been my, my sanity, right? Every day I sit and I think, she's doing it. She's making it happen. She's everything that I couldn't do, everything I wanted to do, all those opportunities lost. She's going, she's taking them, she's doing it. And that just makes me feel like I succeeded, right? Her success is my success, period. I don't have to go out and I still do things that make me feel like, yeah, you know, like these shirts and this channel and stuff. But I don't have to, because everything that she does makes me feel like I'm doing it, right? Yeah, it's just great. It's just great, you know. Really, I was going to read over the weekend, didn't have a chance to read because I was just, you know, distracted. Been distracted all week, in a good way, so I haven't read yet. I thought about reading last night, but I stayed up so darn late here putting together the video graphic for the new Dimension X show, and it came out great. Man, it came out good. It's really. I wish I could bring it over onto this computer so I could pull it up and show you what I'm talking about, because it was really, 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 really good video. Or rather, yeah, the video is really, really good. But the graphics that I created for this thing, I can bring that up. So let me bring up the graphic that I created for my radio show. Have you ever seen the X-1? It says X-1, Old Time Radio Wednesdays below it, and then in the middle it has the title of whatever episode it is. And then the stars are coming at you. And that's it, right? I thought, you know what, I want to do something a little bit different. I want to do something with kind of a retro feel, but a future sci-fi feel to it, all right? So I created my room inside of a spaceship, all right? Well, if I was on a spaceship in the future hurtling through space, what would my room look like in the spaceship? It would probably have fewer present items, futuristic items, right? It would have fewer of that, and it would probably have more of a vintage feeling to it. It would have more stuff from the past in it. So I thought, okay, well, I can't do a whole lot, but what I can do is kind of create a little bit of that kind of a feel, all right? So I created a graphic where I can insert 2 videos in the graphic, right? So here's the graphic, and the TV, I created a 30-minute video to be played through the TV. So that will actually be alive. That TV will be alive with video. Joey, if you remember the other day we were watching Permutations, it was those weird lights, strobing lights, the circles and everything was spinning around, and then it would get bigger and smaller, and then they'd stretch out, and then the circles would kind of loop over each other and stuff. That little educational film, Permutations. So I took that, I chopped off the beginning and the end, and I looped it to create one long video, and then I created some other graphic video portions for the TV. I was going to use that sperm too, and have a little glimpse of that sperm running around. But I thought, you know what? I'll just use the Permutations because it feels like a Dimension X type thing. And then we've got the portal. The portal there, the window, is going to have space travel in it. It's going to have kind of a space warp thing going on, right? Where it looks like we're kind of hurtling through space at light speeds, and weird shit is coming at us. So that's what's going on there. I've already completed the video. It's ready. It's together. It's too big to put over onto this computer for me to show it to you. At some point, I will get it over so that we can check it out. But I wanted to put things in this that I have in my room here. And I do have a Rubik's Cube in my room. I do have a television, and I do got a bong, so I decided I'm going to put my bong in there. It's different than my bong. It's the shorter pot-bellied one. I've got the taller, skinnier one, just mainly to get the distance further away from the bowl burning. That's why I get the longer one. The shorter ones, you get close to it. If your hair happens to hang down while you're lighting that thing up, oh, whoosh, there goes your hair. So, and while I don't have much hair, it is long and it will hang down. So I gotta be careful. And then, so I found all of this. I found this here. this background here, this old rusty metal background. And then I cut a hole in it and erased everything. And then I found this portal, this window. And it's just the window. It's just the outside, nothing in the middle. And then so I put that there. I've had this TV for a while, and it's empty in the middle. So what I do is I cut out this stuff here, this rusty stuff. I'll cut out a square big enough behind the TV for an image to poke through, right? Or I will put a video image over the top of the metal, but underneath the TV. But I'll also put black in there so that when the TV's not on, it's black. Same thing with here. Put a hole, put some black, and then I'll put a little video in here, just a little square video of space travel, warping through space. And put them both on, they're playing, and this thing is, and then all I have to do is just add the sound. And the sound is going to be the radio program, whichever radio program it is. That's what it's going to be. And then at some point down here in the TV, during the end portion of the video, the title and the date of the episode will pop up here. Now I may rework this so that the title and the episode tick by on this thing here. I picked this date because it was dubbed the end of the world in one of the radio shows that I was listening to. All right. Surface Tension was the episode of X-1, and I'm listening to Surface Tension, and they mention the end of the world is going to come on September 4th, 2056. And I thought, okay, I'll pick that date. You know, it's far enough away. I won't be here. So you guys are going to have to, anybody out there, tell me if that's the, if that's the truth. Of course, it won't work either way. Unless, of course, I do actually time travel. Oh, and for those of you in the future, if you have the way to solve the whole disease and cancer issue, and you want to come back and grab me just before I die so I don't screw up the timeline, and take me to the future and cure me and let me live out my existence happily in the future, I'd appreciate that. So any of you getting this, or any of you aliens out there watching this, yeah. Oh shit! I'm looking at this message, Joey. I can solve it. All right. And what were we solving? I can solve it. What did you have to solve? I'm sorry. I do that. I start talking, and then somebody comments, and the comments come 30 seconds after I'm talking anyway. So it's also very confusing. So I'm going to have to wait until I get a message here from Joey to say what can you solve? What was I talking about? That was a puzzle. I got to heat up my coffee while I'm waiting for this message. What can you solve? Yeah, the whole timing thing is kind of screwed up about this. Oh, Rubik's Cube, of course. My daughter has one. I should have given it to you while you were here, and you could have shown off. Be doing Rubik's Cube in one hand and doing origami in the other. Fucking A, man. Ambidextryism. to Dogtown. All right. Dogs are starting to wake up. That's what my daughter said after the festival. She said, my dogs are barking. Whew. My feet are killing me. I bet she's never been on her feet so much in her entire life, right? Except for that half hour that she got to sit down on the ground. Thank you, Joey. You're my hero for standing over my daughter while she's sitting on the ground at a fucking festival. That's awesome, you know. That's chivalry isn't dead, you know. That's cool. That's one of the things us guys, when I was young, would have done. And nowadays, the guy would have said, all right, you sit here, I'm going to go get us some beers. And he would have taken off, right? And she'd have gotten trampled. That's the way it is nowadays, right? Instead, I get the nicest guy in the world to come and go to a festival with my daughter. Thanks. You were awesome, man. You're the bee's knees. Yeah, I literally sitting here, and I think you were getting ready to go, you were in the shower or something. I was sitting here kind of just beaming and, you know, contemplating the whole weekend and stuff. And, yeah, I almost made myself cry, seriously. It was such an awesome experience. You know, I was just like, I know, I'm old, I'm emotional. Tell that guy to shut up. God, he's not going to cry, is he? No, maybe, no. It was just really neat, you know. It's one of those experiences that you never expect to have. And then you think, you know, my life was supposed to do this, right? I'm supposed to have these experiences. Damn it, I'm allowed to. You know? Wow. Wow. All right, enough of that. Enough of that emotional shit. But anyway, so there it is. Stuff flashing on the screen so that we know what it is, what it's all about. So yeah, it'll have Dimension X on the screen in some fashion. The screen will always say Dimension X. And then I'm not quite sure how yet. I might put something on the desk between the bong and the cube that is kind of a maybe like a computer readout thing, right? We've got the digital calendar up there. I thought about it. It's a perfect size for what it is, the little calendar. I thought maybe I should have added Monday. But no. It looks, you know, I don't think days I think a date in space would be one thing, but a day, it doesn't matter what fucking day of the week it is in space, right? You know? We're going to take out the trash. Yeah. So I'm going to probably create some little desktop computer readout thing that I can set there. Maybe, you know, a little laptop looking thing, futuristic, just a screen with a few buttons. And it'll tick by. A little ticker will tick by and say, you know, just tick, 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 tick. And it'll have the you know, Dimension X, episode yada yada, episode name, and then maybe some more information, you know. Or I'll rework the screen so the screen on the TV goes black. And then, hi everybody. And then when the screen goes black on the TV, maybe credits will roll up on that. Ooh, maybe there. Yeah, maybe I'll do that. I'll just have the screen go black, and the credits will roll up for a few seconds. Right? Which means I'm probably going to have to redo this video that I just saved, because I need to add something else to that desk, and then I need to add room on that TV, 30 seconds of black screen, and I don't have that. So I need to put 30 seconds of black screen on that TV. Maybe I can do a shutter, right? That'd be neat if there was a shutter that slid down on that window. So it was down when the video started, and then you open the shutter, and there's this space shit going on out there, man. That'd be some heavy shit, man. Right? Rubik's. Yeah, I don't know about Rubik's, man. I used to mess with that when I was a kid. And I could get, a couple of sides or something, but I never really got into it. I never put much effort into it. But then again, I didn't put much effort into anything, or much of anything growing up. Usually it was because somebody else wanted me to do it, right? I didn't put effort into school because I didn't want to do it. They wanted me to do it. I didn't put effort into working because I didn't want to work. They wanted me to work. I had to work. It was, a lot of my life was like that, where it's like, why bother? It's all about them. If you want to do it, you fucking do it. Why got to do it? Why do I got to read? Why do I got to do homework? Why do I got to do this or that? I don't want to do it. I ain't fucking doing it. Right, Joey? Fucking A. But it was like that for most of my life, really, actually, childhood and adult life. It's like, fuck it, I don't want to do this shit. I ain't gonna fucking do it. I mean, the only reason I worked and would get a job was because I wanted stuff. And most of the stuff I wanted was because society says, hey, you want this stuff. The ad men say, you got to have this stuff. Your life is incomplete without these items that you have to purchase at high, exorbitant prices. So you got to get a job. You got to have a car. So you got to have a job. You got to do this. You got to have a job. Society says you got to work. You got to work to pay the man. And the more you work, the more they want from you. The more taxes, the more bills you have, the more you want. It's crazy. It just gets out of fucking control, Yeah, I would love for my daughter just to be able to be out on a big piece of property somewhere, not to want for anything because she doesn't need anything, and have anything that she wants because she works, but only if she's like working a job that she really, 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 really loves, right? Otherwise, what's the point? You're just a slave then. And that's, we got enough people that are slaves. Why don't we anti-slave the entire fucking population? Why? Because we got ad men, we got politics, we got religion, we got sales. Everything's on sale. You got to get it. You know what? What's coming up this about a month away, right? Black Friday. Woo-wee! That's it, man. Black Friday. We live like a Black Friday existence, We're just looking for the next sale, the next good thing to come along, the next thing to entertain us. Yeah. And we're all like that. I mean, even the people who don't, claim to be and believe that they aren't, they're like it. It's just the way it is. Nowadays we're all beholden to this fucking sociological nightmare that we live. It's horrible. Let them eat cake. Cake. What did I watch? I watched The Four Musketeers. Sequel to the Three Musketeers. The original stuff, 1970s. Michael York, Richard Chamberlain, Faye Dunaway, Raquel Welch, Charlton Heston, a slew of others. Great movie. I did not remember seeing this sequel until the end. When we got to the end, to the second head chopping of the Lady de Winter, I'm like, how can they kill her twice, right? Is she even dead? Are they going to do a third? So, but it was good. It's a good movie. Enjoyed it. I watched some other stuff sitting here with my wife. Let's see, what movie did we watch? I don't know, it'll come to me. I don't know. I have such a hard time remembering things that just happened because I have such a bad, fucked up short-term memory. My long-term memory is okay. I remember stuff really good from about 30 years ago. Most short-term memory is just, it's a symptom of marijuana. Also, brain damage. Brain damage. I call brain damage on that. Brain damage. But it's all good. I mean, what the fuck do I care? It's not like I'm hurting anyone being brain damaged, right? And it appears not to be a severe genetic trait, you know, because my daughter kicks ass. She's a genius. So, yeah. I mean, you know, not a genius. Come on. To me, compared to me, she's a genius. All right, that's not fair to me. Why do you put yourself down? You know. I don't know, because she's got it all together. All right. Tatsu break. There you go. That's nice. That's nice. Yeah. And my graphics, see my graphics bong there. I think I was going to get my daughter's Rubik's Cube and stick it up there on that shelf. I think I'll do that. I think I'll put the cube up on that shelf there. It doesn't really matter at this point because everything in here is coming down. Everything on that wall right there is coming down. I'm going to rework that wall, and I think I know what I'm going to put there. I'm going to rework that wall, and I'm going to start hanging pictures of me with people, right? Because I have had the opportunity to meet a lot of very, very cool people, all of them celebrities in my eyes. I've got a great picture of me and Joey that I want to hang there. Me and Ben Harper, his daughter Harris, Big Sandy, you know, some of them Velveteers kids, Starcrawler, you know, I've just got a lot of stuff. Some of the local guys that I've got some great photos with, a lot of photos with my daughter. So I'm going to start popping a lot of that stuff up there, you know, because this last year has really been really, really heavy. I mean, I've done a lot of stuff just in the last year. My life has changed so much because of my daughter, and I want her to know that it's her. That she's done most of this. She's helped me, you know. While YouTube has been like the catalyst for change, she has actually helped me to make a change in my life, taking me out constantly and you know, not forcing me to go out, but what am I going to say no to my daughter, right? And she has such great taste in music that if she ever says, hey, you want to go to a concert? I'm like, sure, because I know it's going to be good. Whatever she picks, you know. It's bitchin'. Yeah, it's bitchin'. She's a connoisseur. She's a concert connoisseur, right? Over 24 concerts in the last couple of years. Yeah, she's a connoisseur. Totally. She's an avid concert goer. And she's good at it. And she's good at being navigator, right? Not necessarily co-pilot, because she can't drive, or she can drive, but she's not licensed. But she's an excellent navigator, right? Assistant in the car. If you're going to take a long trip, you know, and you got a couple of drivers, she's the navigator. You know, she's the one. And DJ too. She's a great DJ. Yeah. I mean, she from the back seat, my daughter will have it going on, or from the passenger seat, she'll have it going on. You know, you need something to eat, need something to drink, new music. You know, where are we going? Here's a bathroom. There's a gas station. I mean, you know, 1.3 miles, exit 231. I mean, she's like on it. Okay, we missed it, rerouting. You know, no, there's never any drama. I mean, it's just like, fuck, she's like a dream come true when it's traveling. You know, I did that. I really did. The last couple of years, I have made her a road trip aficionado. Okay. For 20 years old, she knows how to road trip. She knows how to road trip. She knows how to do concerts. Yeah, it's very, very cool. You know, all this before she's 21. And she's, you know, she's had drinks. You know, she's eaten edibles. Is it her thing? Probably not. Would she do it on occasion? Probably, right? Drinking or edibles or something. But is it something that she must do? Like most party goers, I have to get a drink. I have to do this. I'd have to get a buzz. I'd have to go there and I'd have to find a place to get high, right? She's not like that. Her whole high is getting ready for the concert to coming home and chilling out after the concert and all of that in between. That's her high, you know, and she lives it. She lives that high, you know. She feels that emotion so much that, you know, she'll just burst into tears, you know. And that is so bitchin' that she can experience emotion, really, you know, heavy emotion on a positive level. All of the emotion that I felt before I was 20, most of that emotion was horrible. It was emotion I wouldn't wish on anybody. Did you hear how I said emotion? Because I went through some heavy shit as a kid. I mean, I cried about bad stuff. She cries about good stuff, and that's awesome. You know, that's awesome. That's one of those dad done a good job things. You know, I feel like if my kid pretty much only cries when she's happy, and she cries a lot, right? Then I think I've bing! I think I've done it, you know. Sure, she has bad feelings. Sure, she cries because she's sad. But she's got a lot more good to cry about. Because she and I are a lot alike emotionally. We are very emotional. We wear our hearts on our sleeves. You know, if I'm angry, I'm angry. If I'm sad, I'm sad. If I'm happy, I'm happy. She's the same way, you know. I don't want her to hold back her emotions. I want her to feel her emotions and express her emotions. Don't hold that shit in. That's not good. Emotions are for living, not for hiding, not for, you know, packing away until later and then you get all pissed off because I've got all these angry emotions. Fuck that. If you're mad, get mad. Say, hey, I'm mad. Don't piss me off. And then move the fuck on. You know, it took me decades to learn something that she's grown up knowing that it's okay to be emotional. Right? It was hard at first for her and I as she grew into her emotions, right? I'm sure she felt weird crying, you know. And then it's like, by now, she's like, it's okay to cry. Crying is good. Crying is a good thing. You know, even if it happens for a bad reason, it's still okay to cry. If it happens for a good reason, it's okay to cry. If there's no fucking reason at all, and you just feel like, oh man, that sun feels so good, and I'm happy to be alive, bawl your fucking eyes out if you want. You know, go for it. It's your life. Feel those fucking emotions. Don't hide them. Don't let people say, oh, you can't feel that. Stop having emotions, right? You can't walk out into the middle of the street and scream and yell and say, I'm pissed off at the world and I'm not going to take it anymore without getting gaffled by 30 fucking cops. Why? Because you're not allowed to feel emotion or express emotion in fucking public. It's ridiculous how fucking screwed up this bullshit world has become. It is. It's fucking sad. What's even more sad, so my coffee has cooled down and I gotta get up again and go heat. I'm gonna get a microwave right fucking here. Right? Won't that be good for my pacemaker? I should be so lucky to have a pacemaker. Yep. Totally. Fucking A. Yeah, buddy. Emotion, good. Hiding emotion, not good. Having emotion, expressing emotion, that's great. Learning how to express emotion so you don't offend anyone or freak fucking people out. That's the trick. That's the key. You know, because other people get so weirded out by emotion that because they don't know how to handle their own emotions, right? So they get weirded out when other people express emotions, especially those emotions that other people think are violent, right? He's got violent emotions, right? And he's just expressing them. He's throwing his hands around because he's fucking pissed, right? And they're taking it as, I think this guy's going to freak and start killing people. And that's not the case. We freak out and start killing people when we're not allowed to express those simple human emotions, right? You know? And people get scared. People have emotions, and the other people standing around are like, I don't know what's going on, because they can't handle their own emotions. So they call the cops, they call the doctors, they call the fucking zoo, whatever. But they want you the fuck out of there, because you having your emotions is causing them to freak out about their own emotions because they can't handle it. They don't know what to do about their own emotions, you know. They hide that shit all the time, you know. They make fun of it in TV and movies all the time. We like to bottle that shit up and not talk about it. And that's true. You know, most families, that's totally true. They just keep things light and fluffy on the surface and they don't get too deep into shit, you know. And those are the no-drama families that scare the shit out of me when everything is too perfect, right? And there's never any drama at all. It's like, you know, mom's always got lunch ready. The kid's always, gee, mom. The husband's, honey, I brought home someone for dinner. Gosh, honey, that's great. I made extra just in case. I mean, everything's always peachy keen perfect. The dog never shits in the house, you know. The neighbors are perfect. Everything's perfect, perfect, perfect. You know, those are the people that fucking scare me to death because they don't have real emotions. They hide from their emotions. Oh, darn, someone died. Well, let's just go to the funeral and everything. Well, be sure to get some good flowers. I mean, it's like they're dead inside, right? Emotionally dead inside because they were raised to hide that fucking shit away, you know? And then they marry some broad that their parents, you know, got together and decided, well, these guys are great together. And they don't fight back because they can't have emotions. They can't have feelings. They can't have their own thinking, you know. And then, you know, you you get these fucking kooks who just freak out and get a divorce. Or, you know, even worse, somebody winds up buried in the backyard. Where did she go? Where'd Lacey go? I don't know, man. Uh-huh. I'm telling you. Emotions are good. It saves a lot of headache. A lot of psychiatric bills, right? It saves you from having to take fucking antidepressants. You know? Saves you from a lot of shit. Just have the emotions, deal with it, you know? I don't know how. Well, fuck, man. Get someone to talk to who understands how to deal with fucking emotions. Because I can dig that there's probably a lot of people out there who have no clue on how to deal with their own emotions, let alone how to do their own fucking laundry or cook their own food or, you know, for God's sake, even clean up after themselves, right? Yeah. I think we were talking about the other day about little entitled kids who just, they wouldn't be able to function without mom, you know? And they go right from mom to some girl, and they think because it's a girl, it must have those mom qualities, right? Well, she's got to be like a mom because she's got boobs, right? And that's just ridiculous. And then they get into some kind of marriage, and she's like, oh, hell no, I ain't doing that shit. I ain't your fucking mother, you know? My mom taught me to do shit for myself. Do shit for yourself. And then they get a divorce. Why? Because he's expecting one thing, and she's like, oh, fuck no. Oh, hell no. Yeah, I wouldn't want my daughter to get into a relationship, an old school relationship, like her mother and I have, until she's ready to take on those responsibilities of being the head of the house and being responsible for other people, not because you have to, but because you love them and you care about them, right? That's what our relationship is, you know? It's like, she'll say, oh, I don't feel like cooking tonight. You want to cook something? I'll be like, yeah, sure. What do you want? Or like, no, but I'll go out and get something if you want. You know, and it's just a give and take. Our whole relationship is just about give and take. Because if it's not, then it's just give or it's just take, right? It's all about balance. Everything is about balance. You know, everything. The amount of coffee I drink versus what I get done versus how much nap time I need versus when I'm going to be able to, you know, it's crazy. I got a show to do tonight. And after the last week, my whole channel is winding down to a hiatus where I'm just going to start retooling everything for a different kind of show and a different kind of channel and stuff. So, whereas most people would kind of be building up and be doing a big boom, it's over, I'm kind of like, it's just kind of fizzing out, right? Tonight, I've got to do a 2-hour nighttime nonsense and nostalgia sans video time machine because well, first of all, I was too busy over the week to make a video time machine. And second, it's the last nighttime nonsense and nostalgia. So I don't want a video time machine. I want it to just be all music. I want to just pick out all of my favorite music from the last, how many episodes? 80 episodes, 80-some episodes, right? So there you go. I'm just gonna play 2 hours of music. I contemplated not even announcing, not even doing commercials, so that I could just fit in music, more music. And I thought, now I got to go out with the same show, just longer. So at some point this morning, I'm going to pick out 2 hours worth of music and commercials and just do a regular nighttime nonsense and nostalgia show. It's a lot of music. But I have so many favorites that I think 2 hours might be enough. Now, next week, I'm going to do a video time machine, and it's going to be Halloween, and it's going to be on some kind of Halloween show. I think I'm going to be here. I've got to push my dentist appointment back again until I got my insurance straightened out after the 1st of November. So I'm going to be here for Halloween. There you go. So I'm going to put together something for Halloween. I don't know what yet. Something. I know the nighttime or the video time machine, that is going to be definitely Halloween slanted. The show that I do, or whatever live thing that I do, I don't know. I may light a candle and read something and do some spooky sounds, some spooky videos, some funny stuff, show a film, listen to something, right? The possibilities are endless, basically. But yeah. It'd be nice if we could watch a scary movie or something scary together, listen to something scary together. Maybe I'll read something scary. We'll watch a scary video time machine, right? And I'll just put together a couple of hours of something. Maybe I'll do an hour pre-show that's kind of a scary ambience thing. Sounds and music and weird visuals and stuff, right? Okay, I could see that. So yeah, I'll work on that. Some kind of Halloween day. Tonight it's just going to be 2 hours of music and nonsense, craziness. And then I'm going to take it on the lam for a while. I'm going to do a nice hiatus, and I'm just going to work on videos. I've been thinking about music a lot, so I really think I'm going to pull out some musical instruments in here. And this room over here where Joey stayed the night, for one night, because we were able to put Joey up in a few Airbnbs, which was really cool. Thank you to our hosts that we work with, cleaning and maintaining their houses. And they are so gracious enough to let us use their houses from time to time. And we were able to secure houses for, 3 of the 4 nights he was here. And it was like, wow, that is so fucking cool. We were so lucky and privileged to have people like that in our lives, you know. So that was very, very cool. Very, very cool. Yeah, I get real excited about stuff. I get sidetracked on a tangent, and then I'm like, what the fuck, where was I? Yeah. So anyway, there's this room here, and that's going to become my new studio again. I've been over there before. That'll free up this room to become a living room again and a full-time set where there's, you know, I can sit in here and do anything, play music, watch TV, record stuff, shoot video in here and be in there, mixing it and editing it. So that's very cool. I'll get that back together again. And then I'll probably set up a keyboard in there so that I can not just start learning how to play the piano, but I want to create some videos. And I want to create my own music for the videos, not like singing and stuff like I'm normally do. I want to create some emotional ambiance music, right? Background music. So what I'll do is I'll break out the keyboard, get onto YouTube or someplace, and learn how to play a few songs, right? Which will give me the idea of where to put my hands and keys and chords and fingering. And then from there, I'll use my own imagination and create something, which is how I usually do everything. I learn a little bit and then just learn the rest along the way while I'm creating stuff. So I'll probably come up with some videos that I'll want to put some of my own background music to, right? Maybe do a music video, but in order to start the music video, I need to put a little something at the beginning and a little something at the end to tie it to the video. So the music then is now sewn in, right? Yeah. And then I have a host of instruments here. The only thing I really don't have that I really want, and if I had, it would probably be sitting here in my lap just about every day. And that would be an electric guitar. I've got an acoustic guitar. I've got acoustic guitars to really beat the band, and I just want an electric guitar, like an Ibanez RG something, a full-size 6-string guitar, something with 3 pickups on it and switches, something that has different ways of going, right? I like the one that Steve Vai got together and worked with Ibanez to create, the one with the handle on it, the RG series. I think it's RG. And it's just a really nice guitar. Even without the handle, it's just a really nice Stratocaster looking guitar. They're not all that expensive. Right now, it's a little out of my budget. I should have gotten one a while back when I had the budget, but I did not. So at some point, I hope that I can get one of those and kind of get out some of those things that are in my head, my heart, and my fingers, my hands. I sat on my leg here, and my pajama pants were wrinkled up, and it squashed my leg for a little while and made my leg itch. Got those bumps and lines in it from the wrinkled fabric being pushed up against it, and it bugs the hell out of me. Not to mention when I wear socks, tight socks all the way up my calves, every single time I take them off, my calves itch. And I think it's the detergent, because that's the one place where on my body where the fabric is constantly pressing against me, and I think it has to do with detergent allergy stuff, because I've had trouble with that in the past, where all of a sudden everything itches, everything that I put on itches, drives me nuts, makes me break out in a rash. I'm all red and puffy. Yeah, it's a bummer. And then it's like, okay, you know what, just go back to, so we usually wind up going back to Tide, the regular powder Tide that I grew up using. It's like, okay, let's just go back to, forget the liquid stuff. Let's go back to Tide. Give me a box of Tide. Wash all of my stuff in Tide and only use a little bit of soap. It's hell on my shirts, right? But the detergent allergy stuff is just itchy as hell. It drives me nuts. Makes me crazy. See, I'm itching again. Damn it, just talking about it makes me itch. Makes me want to cover myself in ice. Ice. The ice habit. Yeah. Totally. Yeah, when I was a kid in Fallbrook, 1978, that is the TV that pretty much we had. My father and I, it was an RCA. That one's not an RCA. My father and I were watching TV one day, and the TV went, and it just went out. And it's like, oh man, the TV's broke. And so he's like, well, shit. So there's this TV place in downtown Fallbrook, California. Borders the Camp Pendleton Marine Base to the west, Rainbow to the east, Temecula to the north, and Bonsall to the south. Fallbrook, California. It's an avocado town. Really nice little place in the hills. A lot of trees and winding roads. So we're living there, and the TV blows out, and my father and I take it down to the local TV place, fix-it place, to see if it can be fixed. And the guy's like, yeah, it'll be like this, that, and the other. It's going to cost this much, and yada, yada, yada. And my father's, all right, well, shit. How much for that TV? And he looks at an RCA, little color, but I think we had a black and white. He looks at a little color RCA. And it was small, but it was new, right? And it was like, all right. And I think he worked out a deal with the guy, and we brought home a new color TV. In 1970, I was about 10 years old. And we had that TV for a few years. I was bummed when we lost it, when it died. It was a neat little TV. What do you think about my desk there, right? I found a little desk, PNG desk, and it was like I was trying to figure out how big am I going to make the desk. I'm going to use a full-size desk. But that would make everything really small. I'm thinking, well, all I really want is the top. So I just blew it up until I was just looking at the top. Got a little pixelated, but it's the top of a desk. And what's really neat is on that right side, it's got a little bit of shadow where that TV sits. And I didn't plan that, but that's pretty cool. And then I found a little picture PNG, and that's just a picture that is got stuff removed or its surroundings removed so that it can be laid over something. And I found that of the Rubik's Cube and the graphics bong there. Because I'm thinking, well, if I was in space, what would I have? Well, I'd probably have an old TV and a VCR and some books and some relics from the past and a bong. And so I was like, okay. So I thought, well, I'm going to start collecting some items to put in here. And this thing probably isn't finished. I will probably rework this a few times and add stuff. The date calendar thing. I don't know what I'm going to do with that, right? Since this is a first run at this and I'm going to have to change it anyway, I may remove the numbers from that, the letters and numbers, the September 4th, 2056, and just use that as a ticker, right? That would be the easiest thing to do. And ticking across that constantly is the title and the episode, the date that it aired, that kind of stuff. Just all the information, just ticking across that thing real slow. I think that would probably look really cool. And then add a few more things to the desk, right? Definitely add a few more things to that desk. Totally. I don't know what. So something that I have here in my house, because all of these things so far are things that I have. I would have liked to have put like a VCR there, but trying to get those two pictures to work together would have been hard. Stacking one and trying to fit it in. No, I think it looks good the way it is. Maybe to the left of that desk, maybe have something leaning against the wall or against the desk there. That might be neat. I don't know what. It's too bad I couldn't scratch something into that rust, but it would be too obvious. I could spray paint something onto the rust. But that's, I think, the best I could do. I got to get the tablet and the wand, the what do they call, stylus, from my daughter to see if I can start drawing some stuff on the computer. She's really good at it, so if I can get her help and a little tutorial on how to use this stuff and you know, where to get things and how to do stuff, how to hook it to my computer and use it with my programs especially, I think that'll really help. And I think playing around with this is going to help me to create more graphics for my show. If I can create a graphic like that for the beginning of my show where I'm on the TV and then we zoom into the TV and then here I am in life, that would be neat. I would like to be able to have graphics that pop up on my screen live. I have the ability, I just don't have the smartedness. I ain't taught myself yet. My own laziness, my own distractedness, because I get too wrapped up in other shit. You know, I gotta get out and build a fucking gate. So, yeah, there's all kinds of shit going on. Tons of shit going on. And I'm just gonna have to get her done. Gonna have to get her done. Yeah, I'm probably not going to do too much physically the rest of the week. I'm still recovering from that whole outing to Vegas. That was pretty heavy on me physically. I'm drained. And my bones are fucking, my back, my muscles. What little muscles I got. I got cold coffee. So I'm just going to kind of concentrate on the channel and getting caught up, getting next week done, because I've got today, tomorrow, and Sunday to get Monday and the rest of the week rolling. So I'm going to do my first Dimension X, fix this here, and get this ready to roll, and then fix the video that goes inside the TV and get that ready to roll. Make sure that the one in the window works, and then use that for the first one for sure. I think, yeah, and get that date calendar thing. I think maybe I'll do both, right? I'll have it so that it's got that date. Or maybe I'll use whatever year I can find in the future that corresponds with this year's calendar, right? And lines up with leap years and that shit. And use that date and have that date on the screen there. And then have that fade away. And then have it ticking by the show, the episode, that kind of shit. I think that would look pretty cool. And then I've got a whole bunch more shows I need to create. Well, actually, I need to download a whole bunch of more shows while I have the time through my internet resources. But I think I got enough to go for right now until I get that extra memory. My computer is, while it is out of memory, I still have a decent amount of memory over here on this one. On the external hard drive. Yeah, 133 gigabytes. Let's see. The only bummer is there we are. Morning show. Shows. There we go. Right. So this one is about 75 gigabytes. So probably more like 60 something, because all of that is audio. There's a lot of audio and graphics and stuff in that file as well. So it's about 60 something gigabytes of finished X-1 videos that I need to move over onto this hard drive here. That's going to free up this computer over here, right? So at some point I'm just going to unplug this hard drive, plug it in over here, move that stuff over, get it done, and then put it back over here. Or plug in the new external hard drive to the same computer, share some of the files, and then plug one hard drive in over here, the one that's got everything on it already. Take the new one and put it over here, and keep it as the main memory for this. And that's what I really need to do, is I need to find out how to reset my computer, right, after I remove everything of value off of it, and get rid of a bunch of that dead memory that is somewhere, right, and clean up that damn computer. Yeah. Damn computer. So let's see, it's Friday. My wife is going over to her friend's house, who happens to be one of my daughter's old teachers. My wife, she keeps up these great connections with wherever she goes. She meets all of the right people all the time. She's like, oh, I know them. You know, it's like, how, what? So she's familiar with most of my daughter's teachers in grade school, because she was always helping out, always volunteering. And as my daughter got older, she's like less able to help, because the higher, junior high, there's no parents in junior high. In high school, in the background, in the backdrop, there are a few parents who help out. But for the most part, grade school, grammar school is when parents get to spend a lot of time at the school. So my wife, she knows a lot of those teachers and other assistants and faculty. So she still sees them around town, talks to them, hangs out with them, does stuff. It's pretty cool. My parents never do that. My parents never had any kind of connection to the town or the community or the school or any of that. They were exactly the opposite. We'll stay as low key as possible, stay out of the limelight, stay out of the stay out of things, because we were usually running anyway, dodging, avoiding. So here, I'm gonna get my leg itchy again by sitting on it. All right. I'm doing it all for Lena. Got Billy Joel rolling through my head. I think I tried. Yeah, I put on Glass Houses yesterday. Yeah. I get into a thing with music where it's all right with the song, the album that I start off with, the next one has to kind of, it can change a little, but it has to be complementary to that one, and it can only change so much that it doesn't offset the mood that the first one has created, right? So when I'm sitting here picking out albums to listen to, they all have to create some kind of a wave, rather than here and then over there and then over there, right? So I really try to focus on the emotional theme of what you're listening to. You're on this kind of high. You don't want to all of a sudden be bouncing off the walls, or you don't want to fall into a hole. I mean, you want to keep along the same path, right? And that's a lot of fun. And then it's a lot of fun when you have somebody you're listening to music with who's helping out in putting on that music, and they're doing the same thing, and it's just kind of following a flow, you know? It's kind of the zen of listening to music, right? Fucking A. Zen and flow. Zen and flow, right? Yeah, anyway, I'm gonna heat this coffee big time because I feel like having a hot swaller. So I've been contemplating getting another one of these little, he says the lights down here, right? I've been contemplating getting another one of these mixers and creating a wiring harness for it so that all the wires coming into it go out through one bundle of cables, right? A harness. So that I can put it on a tabletop or an end table, right? Just put it on an end table and be able to control the cameras from sitting in this room in a love seat, at a table, at a chair, but doing something in this room and having all of the stuff over there. Having this room mic'd, coffee table mic, hanging mic, something going on in this room, so that when you see the long shot of this room, this big console thing isn't here. This isn't here. This is all kind of blended into the room. And then this mixer thing on, like this table here, at the end of a little small love seat in the middle of this room, so that there's plenty of room to get around, all the way around in a circle around the love seat and a little table, a little coffee table maybe, and just create a little living room picture, right? Something that's comfortable for us, and it's nice to look at on camera, right? And do that, and then have this little mixer thing, one of those next to me, one in there so that I can control everything from in there, and one out here that's permanently set up in either direction, right? So I'm going to be looking for a used one of these things to pick up in the near future. And then I'll just bundle up a bunch of HDMI cables, run them over to this on the other side of the room, and then that bundle will come up, and the numbers on each cable will correspond to camera numbers on cables in here. So I just unplug from here and plug into there, and then plug this into that, and now we're going live, and I don't have to pick shit up and move shit around, unplug shit. But bypassing stuff here is real easy. I just take a little coupler, pull the two HDMI cables out, one from the monitor, one from the computer, plug them in together, and now I'm going from the computer straight into the monitor rather than through the mixer. Unplug the monitor and plug the switch into it, or plug them both into the camera mixer, right? So I want to set it up so that I can kind of be on one end of the room or the other. Set it up over there, go live, walk into here, hit fade from black, or switch from over there to over to here, right? Bada bing bang boom, baby. And try to set this up more comfortably. From the camera angle, this looks really, really crowded and cluttered, and it kind of is. This live unit here really puts a big brick in the middle of this living room, right? So I'm going to turn that room into this and try to set this room up so that I can go live from this room without all the clutter, period. And if not, I'm just going to go live from over there. I'll set it up so that I've got this cool little studio over there where I can do this, and then I'll have cool camera angles set up in this room where I can do that, and then, see, you know what, I'm going to go sit on the couch for a little while, and then I'll just switch cameras, and then come sit down over here. And then eventually I'll get my mixer stuff and set it up a little bit easier. But I need to do a change, right? I'm going to do season 4 of this. I'm going to do season 3 of Nighttime Nonsense and Nostalgia. At that point, I'll probably start a season 2 of Video Time Machine. This winter, hopefully I'll get to knock out a few episodes of some of those other series that I've been working on. Family photo album, photos from the wife's phone, Elsinore Brothers documentary series. Let's see, out buying records and stuff. You know, little things that I've only done one of, only done a pilot of, and I'll try to get in and do more of that, you know. I'd like to get more people to come over here and hang out and talk with me about their stuff. That would be fun. Everybody just gets so wrapped up into their own stuff that I can barely get a hi, you know, and that's cool because you got to stay busy. That's what I'm doing. I'm just staying fucking busy. And stay busy till you die. Let's see here. I think it's time to get my irie on, man. Why? Because I can, and because I am in some fucking pain. Is that why he's crying? Shut up. Yeah. That's why I cry, because of the pain. Pretty much the only reason. Well, and because I'm emotional and I get happy and I cry. So there you go. Ah, yeah. I gotta take care of some fucking business, man. Gotta take care of some major fucking plans. Get shit done, taken care of. Don't have to worry about it anymore. Okay, that's done. Whew. You know, worry, that's one of those things you don't need. When there's other stuff to deal with, you know. So get it done ahead of time, get all the worry stuff so you can just let it happen. Just let it happen. Yeah. But man, I've got to get moving on this reading. I almost want to start listening to the books that I want to read, because I don't have the time to sit and, you know, my brain makes it hard enough to read, but it's just, I love my books so much, and the physical connection to them is why I love to read them and smell them and hold them and turn the pages, get lost in them, you know. But what I'm probably going to do is be looking to find some of these things on audio, just so that I can enjoy them now, right? Sitting here working on my computer stuff and have that playing, you know, while I'm creating my videos and doing my other stuff, you know. That would be great. And I think I'm going to have to, because it's really hard to find the time. I only get one really good day of reading a week, And that's if I plan for it and really bust my ass to make the time for it. Otherwise, I get a little bit in the evening when I lay down for bed, and if I get to bed late or before my wife turns the lights off, I'm just not going to read. I'm not going to crank the light on and then sit up for an extra couple of hours and read when I should have been in bed an hour ago, right? So I have to do some audio book research. Maybe I can find something now. Let's see if I can find something now. Come on now. All right. Let's see if I can do it now. Flashback Friday. What's going on out there, people? How are you flashing back? I'm flashing back every day. Today I'm doing that whole video flashback. I'm going to be uploading a shitload of videos. I've got a shitload to create, and I got a shitload to upload. A shitload to upload. Yeah, I got loads of loads. All right. Theater 5 single episodes. Huh. 1960s. 60s. Well, that show was in the 60s, but would he have been on that show? Right? It's like 16 episodes. Oh, well, so far. I don't see an episode called Friday. It was a pretty weird book. It would have been heavy to make it into a radio show, I think. It would have been too weird. So, he's probably got one of his stories on there. So, Friday is a no. Let's see what others. Oh, I know. Oh, I don't want that keyboard. Sorry if it made noise. Oh, wow. Okay, let me add his last name here. Damn it. I guess it's probably too new to be in this database here. Damn it. All right, well, I'll have to come up with some other audio novels. Right? So let's see here. Oh, damn, I did it again. Let's leave that thing alone, man. Alright, leave that keyboard alone. Step away from the wrong keyboard, and that won't happen, right? Okay, there we go. Okay. Why don't we just try his name? And we'll see if we get anything. Alright, here we go. Dimension X. Alright. Let's see if we get any, oh, it's just a picture. Ordeal in space. Huh. Oh, it might be one of those new ones, right? His novels, some of his earlier or some of his later things that never got published that were slightly unfinished got shuffled over to another author who spruces it up and finishes it, and then they release it. I'm not too fond of those. They don't quite get him fully, so they never really. I've got one by Spider, somebody or other, who tried to work with one of his, and it just didn't feel the same, you know. It just didn't feel the same. Well, let's see. I'm not seeing any exact. Well, how spacesuit will travel. There's a novel there. There's Theater 5 again. The Puppet Masters. Podcane of Mars. Alright, so let me see if these are actual audio novels or what. Because if they are, well, hell yeah, I'll listen to those. Fucking A. There are, what, 3 of them here? But what's the deal? Okay, I'm gonna have to check this out here and see what's going on. I'm gonna upload that, turn that off, and
as everybody knows.
Okay, so that is an audio book, and it's 5.5 hours long, and that's cool. How much to download? Just a few megabytes. All right. Well, let's get those other ones, because while I have read these 3 books, these 3 little novels here. Oh, this one's in multiple parts. Damn it. I may just listen to that one here. Let me just tag it. I don't want that one. I want this. Okay. What about this one? This is another one that's in parts. Alright, eventually I will have to come back and grab all the parts and put them all together in one recording. That's nice. Alright, but I do have one, and it's a good one. Podcane of Mars. Podcane of Mars. That's a really good one. I like it. Alright, so I can take this off now. But I don't see any other of his books. On, boy, they got a lot to say about him on these podcasts. Yeah. He was a free thinker. He had a lot of free thinking about sex and sexuality and family life and politics and religion, and he would tackle it all, and it would piss a lot of people off, but he just, he just stuck to his guns. He stuck to his guns. Let's see if we can find anything else worth checking out. Totally, Leonard Nimoy. That's cool. Ordeal in Space. Let's check out Ordeal in Space and see what that is. It is an audio file. To mark the century of Robert Heinlein's birth. It's a short story read by Adam Sims for the BBC 7. I don't remember if I read that book. I don't recall. No. Maybe I just don't want to recall. Alright. So there's an author by the name of Clive Cussler, right? And he writes these great adventure novels. A lot of them take place on the ocean. They made one of his novels into a little movie, Sahara, with Matthew McConaughey. And it was a pretty good movie, but he writes these great, elaborate novels. And he wrote one called, I think it was The Oregon Coast, or Skeleton Coast or something. And so it was this boat, this tramp steamer, transport vessel, that just kind of goes around the globe moving products from one place to another. But in reality, it's this secret, special, ultra cool, technically advanced weapon, this ship, right? And so the barrels, they'll have these like 50-gallon drums on the top of this old rusted ship, and out of the drums come guns, and it's just like one of those highly advanced boats. And it's got this, I believe, a Hispanic captain, commander with a wooden leg, and he's got these different legs that he puts on that have different, he's got like a skydiving leg and his survival leg and all of these different legs that he can put on for different missions and stuff, and keep weapons and hide stuff, and legs that look like real legs that people don't realize that he's got a false leg, so when they frisk him, they can't even tell. It's just really, really cool. And I always envisioned Benjamin Bratt being this guy, right? Being this captain, this ship captain. And just always wanted them to make it into a series, But if you ever, I think it's Skeleton Coast, if you ever get a chance to check out Clive Cussler's stuff, check it out, because it's really cool. Really, really cool stuff. And then he works with a lot of authors, because he'll write like a story, and then he'll get another author to help him turn it into a novel, right? Because he's just moved on to the next thing, and then he'll create this thing and then move on to the next thing, and somebody else will come along and spruce it up and turn it into the novel that we love, And he'll start these series. He'll start and write a couple of really great novels, and then he'll bring somebody in, and they'll start writing it, and he'll just give them the story, work with them on it, and then they write it, right? And it's just fantastic how he's created this whole world, right? Using different authors to help him. It's just really bitchin'. It's just really bitchin', The Sea Hunters, an audiobook. Ooh. Well, let's click on that then. And it's 3 hours long. And Clive Cussler and Craig Durgo. So there you go. Just like I said. And it's read by 2 people. Huh. The Adventures with Famous Shipwrecks. Oh, does it say? Ah, jeez. Oh, True Adventures with Famous Shipwrecks. Okay, that's cool. Let's tag that to watch later. Yeah. Some other authors that I used to really enjoy. Of course, Stephen King. I've done my share of Stephen King. I went through an audiobook period where I would listen to a lot of audiobooks because I was driving or working or doing something else, and I just needed that distraction, right? And the neat thing about audiobooks is that you never get it all when you're listening to it, especially if you're doing something, driving and whatnot, right? So I would listen to audiobooks 2 or 3 times, right, in one, in one sitting. Not one sitting, but I would listen to it in the car, an hour on the way to work, an hour on the way home, more with traffic and stuff. And then I would get done with it, and it's like, you know what, I want to hear that again. And I go back and I listen to the whole 12 hours again or whatever. And I or go from that to another book, and then come back to that and listen to it again, and then just kind of bounce around and listen to the books a few times because they're just so interesting. I don't know, not just interesting, but engaging. I love audiobooks if they're done right. This is the story that I am reading. I am now this character, and I will go, I am this character. I am a pirate now, it's got to be something good. Can't be some lame ass reading it, right? You don't want to read anything read by Matthew McConaughey, right? All right. Now we're going to get on to the next part here. Nope. In fact, the only thing I want to hear a Hollywood celebrity read would be an autobiography. That would be it. I wouldn't want to hear them read, Clive Cussler. I don't want to hear Harrison Ford read, I don't even want to hear him read an Indiana Jones book, right? Now, leave that to an actor who does voice work and can really get into each character and the story. And, you get an actor, and he's just going to do it. And you take it how I do it, because that's how I do it. I'm an actor. You do any voices? Yeah, I do my own voice. Well, fuck, get out of here. Yeah, arrogant SOB. Totally. Yeah. So let's see. Update to my schedule here. Let me get updated here. So we still need to make that phone call. Definitely today. I need to work on shirts. I need to work on pledges, donations, and the commercial, the infomercial. I need to do a short one. I need to do a medium length one, and I need to do the full length infomercial, right? I need to do a really quick, snappy, with a bang, bang, 15, 20 seconds, get your shirt now. me now. And I'm just going to put call now. You know. Donate today. Get your short, limited sizes, limited edition, the whole 9 yards. It'll be great. It's been slow going, but I think once I start kicking out the graphics on a regular basis and start bringing in donations on a regular basis to get this rolling, I think it's gonna take off. And I think that just kind of hinges on people seeing this, people seeing what we're doing and the shirt. So, yeah. Coming up with a really kitschy, fun commercial. That's it. And not only that, but I'm going to try to put together, with all of the stuff that I'm doing, try to put together a commercial for their store, because they've been so cool about doing this, and I know that I can come up with something really fun. Something really fun, slanted my way, but by that I mean kind of got a vintage feel to it, right? Kind of a retro vintage thing. So that should be neat. Put it black and white, make it a little glitchy, speed it up just slightly, add some old-time special effects, maybe use old school captions. Yeah, do it like a silent movie type thing. Do one like a newsreel. Dateline 2024. Location, Yucca Valley, California. Place, Tees Shirts. Oh my gosh. Can you wear that? Hey man, you can wear anything over here. This is the man on the street talking about people and t-shirts. What do you think about t-shirts, sir?
I think they're really cool, man. I like t-shirts. I like to wear them all the time.
Thank you, sir. Can we move on to someone else?
Are you sure you don't want to talk to me again, man?
Yes, sir. I'm positive. So I don't know. I know I can come up with something really cool and fun, family friendly. Yeah. So I'll be doing that big time in earnest over the next couple of weeks. While I'm getting shirts finished, we're going to work on the next batch of shirts. The screen will be done this week, and we'll bang those shirts out. And then I can get both shirts in the mail together to people, right? And get them first and foremost to people who have donated already. Secondly, get them to people who have pledged, but most importantly, who I need to help me in the gathering of donations, right? People who will wear the shirt, post that they're wearing the shirt, share that they're wearing the shirt, and share the link with their friends on where to get the shirt. You want one of them shirts? Listen, hit me up in Messenger and I'll show you where you can get one of those shirts, right? That kind of a thing.
Psst, hey, buddy, you want to buy a shirt? Well, you can't buy this shirt anywhere, man. It's a special shirt. But I'll tell you what, if you donate money to this bitchin' party, you can get one of these shirts.
Yeah, man, that's far out, dude. That's totally cool.
Hey, buddy.
Yeah, man.
You want a shirt?
I don't not want a shirt, man.
Far out, dude.
You know what I mean? You know what I mean? So let's see. I've got to do that. I've got to do Dimension X video, the DX video Redux. There, that's that one. I need to begin uploads for next week. And the only thing I'm lacking, I think, is the this first Dimension X episode that I have to make, but I got to finish that video. And that's that. That's going to look bitchin', man. When I get that shit fucking finished, it's going to look great. Yeah. So then, shirt pre-production commercials. Because I got to get the pre-production, means I got to start taking all of the video that the girls have been so very friggin' cool to make for me. While they're making the shirts, they're recording video of the process, right? And the neat part is that I need a little bit for me, right? I need a little bit of that stuff for me, but not much. All that they're giving me is great, because what I really want it for is to make that commercial for them. I can make a little quick commercial, I can make a little 30-second commercial, or I can make a little minute-and-a-half long commercial. At some point I'll say, look, you give me a little bit more footage and talk to me for a few minutes, even off camera, and we'll create an infomercial that you can put on your website. Click here, link to this YouTube video, and there's your stuff talking about your shirts, your whole process and stuff, right? Bada bing, friggin' bing bang boom. There you go. Or just upload the video right to their website. You know, play this media player. Boom. So that'll be nice, because I really want to find a way to say thank you. Aside from getting them a bunch of money, I want to also say thank you for being so patient with, you know, with my tiny budget. I mean, I have half a mind to borrow the money and just go in there and finish the down payment, just so I feel comfortable about going in and asking for more shirts, you know. But 25 of each, 12 of each are spoken for, 6 of each are paid for, right? 1 of each belong to you, plus an extra one that I sent over to be printed upon. So I have 12 that I need to get out and get donations and get that money to them, so that I can get another 25 of each printed, which will pay off the shirts entirely. And then we'll be looking to put some money into the next batch of shirts, because we're going to get to a point to where we're bringing in more money than we're putting out, right? At some point, we're going to be having had put out enough money to cover the shirts. We just need to get rid of those shirts now. We just need donations to cover those shirts that we've got in piles around us, because at some point we're going to wind up, or we're going to wind up with not enough shirts because too many people are going to want a specific design. That might be, right? I'm going to create some great basic shirt designs, nothing fancy, nothing like this, right? No extreme, well, there are a couple, but no extreme multicolored shirts, right? Yeah. We'll be doing some photographic transfer type things, which will be neat. But I can't really talk about the shirts until people have shirts. Once people have shirts, then I'm trying to build up a, oh my gosh, kind of a thing. So the people who have pictures, the mock-ups, they're not allowed to talk about them. But as soon as they have a shirt in their possession, they can post a photo of the shirt and then say, call that guy, contact that guy. That's all they got to do. You get your shirt, you put it on, you take a photograph, and you say, hey, you want one of these? Go to this event and say you want to go to this event, and then contact the leader of the pack. Vroom, vroom. That'd be me, and we'll get you into some shirts. Buddy. All right. So that's that. The leader of the pack. Well, that's pretty cool. I can't, yeah. I can't wait. Podcane, Poddy, right on. The pod girl. Yo, Podmeisters. New downloads. There it is. There we go. There it is. There you have it. New download. Yep. Oh yeah, that's got a lot of my photographs that I want to print. Because, wow, I'm a lucky guy. Really lucky. So I want this wall to show, how privileged I've been in the last year to have done all these things and met all these people and stuff. So yeah, I've got this file here where I just dropped off Podcane, and it's just filled with photos that I need to have printed. Very cool. Very cool indeed. Yeah, baby. Oh, yeah. Wow. And I'm so lucky to have a friend like Joey to come and bring me these records and this shirt. That's awesome. Good stuff, man. Good stuff. And it's like now I have an instant collection. An instant beginning of a collection, right? Boom. And a shirt of one of the albums. It's really cool. Yeah. Stop it. I'm going to cry again. Ah, jeez. You freak. I'm emotional. I need someone to come to my emotional rescue. Ace, is it you? Will you come to... No. Maybe Mick Jagger will. He'll come to my emotional rescue. I love that song. I love that album. It's a good album. I remember that one from back, God, junior high or earlier. To put on some stones today. Let's see, I found yeah, that's right. I was going through this box that I have showing Joey these jacketless records I have. They have no jackets. So it's like a stack of records. And I was digging through there because there was one in there in some kind of Asian writing, and I wasn't familiar with what it was. So I wanted to show him to see if he knew what it was. We both agreed that we didn't know what the fuck it was. But it wasn't Japanese. But I picked out a couple out of there that I thought I might want to listen to. I think Best of the Animals, and what else did I pull out of there? A Beatles album, Hard Day's Night, I think, and another one that I thought, you know what, I'll pull these out and listen to these. They don't get much play because they don't have jackets, and it's like, oh, I got to pull out this box and look through them, and just to remember what's in there. If I had a little label thing, I'd put a little label on the what do you call it? Not the heel, is that what it's called? On the book, on the binding there. Put a label there so that you could see what's actually in the case. And I wish I had a couple of more of those boxes, actually. They're pretty cool. They hold a pretty good stack of records that are just in sleeves. I've got a really good Rolling Stones bootleg in there. It's not the full concert because it's only well, like a 40-minute record, but it's a pretty good chunk of the concert. Yeah, it is, you know. It'd be nice if they had done a 2-record set and had extended it out. And I don't think it was because of the way that it starts and the way that it goes from side to side, the way that it ends. I think it's just like the guy pushed play and then he got the record thing set up and then put the thing on and then pressed the record. And it was like, well, wherever it starts, it fucking starts. And then it's like he didn't even push pause when he started the next side, you know, and did the next side B. It's like, are you kidding me? I've had some really nice bootlegs. When I was young, we in the house in Temecula back in 79, 80, we had some really good bootleg records. Some Led Zeppelin, some Jimi Hendrix, some Whitey Woodruff. What's up, Bessie? You want to go outside? You want to go outside? Do you not know what you want to do? Do you want to sit there and look at me? Yeah, that's what I'll do. Do you want to drink some coffee? Oh, that is cold. Well, I'm going to get up and heat my coffee. And probably get a little bit more. And you can tell me what it is you want to do. Okay? You want to go outside? You want to do something? All right, she does. Okay, I'm going to heat up my coffee now. I think I'll get me a warmer here. A warm up. Totally cool, man. Oh, yeah. Coffee's hot. Coffee's hot, but I'm not. Anyways, orale. I'm telling you, man. I'm telling you, man. All right. So let's see. What do we got going on today? Well, Mom should be up soon and getting ready to take off, I guess. Doesn't have to leave too early. Let's see. I would imagine that I am just going to be sitting here all day at this computer, these computers, and be trying to get things accomplished. I have yet to put together videos for next week. I've yet to upload anything. I have not done a weekly program guide. I haven't done jack shit. And next week is Halloween, so I've got a lot of shit to do. Oi. Yeah, I may do the 5 movies during the week, or the 4 of the 5 movies during the week. I may do a 4-part Halloween thing, you know, like 20 minutes every night of a 4-part video. Take a video and divide it into 4 pieces. Or cut them in half, because I've got some videos that are kind of long, and if I do get to use them, they're pretty long. I should break them up. Part 1, Part 2, Part 3, Part 4. Make them easier to digest, too, I think. Right? People want short stuff now. Hi. What's up, Sam? You want to go back to bed? Want to go back to bed? Huh? Want to go back to bed? What's up? Sammy Sam? Are you all right? Are you perplexed? Are you plexed? Yeah. So let's see. I've got one book that I'm listening to now. I'll probably try to listen to that more so I can get through that one and get on to another one. The one that I'm reading now, I'm just about halfway through. And I think I'll probably just try to get things done to the point to where I'm in bed early one day or one evening and can just really get through it, because it's an easy read when you're reading it. You know, this Oglala woman, no, Lakota woman, that's what it is, Lakota woman. It's in the bedroom. It's a great book. But yeah, I need to get on. I need to move on. I need to find an audio version of Bury My Heart, It Wounded Me. There's a dramatic DVD movie thing that's kind of so I don't know that I'm going to get into that. But more than likely my next big read will be another autobiography. I hope. Something. Right? Yeah. I mean, I have a ton of books that are just like picture books, where you open them up and it's just like a pictorial tour of a place, you know, or a history book with a lot of photographs, big photographs, or books of just newspaper front pages, you know, atlases, old school atlases. I love those. I used to sit and look at those for hours and hours. Faraway places, and they always looked so far away because You know, every once in a while you'd see a little caption and you might see some people or something, but for the most part they were just places. They were like, the people could be anything or anybody. Crazy. I really tried to keep that outlook, you know, to keep everything new, fresh. Try to stay young that way. Oh man, I can't friggin' wait for that other shirt to be done. They did such a great job with this first one and the graphic and the shirt, and I picked a great color. And the next shirt, one color shirt, limited sizes, limited supplies, made to order, basically. You pick your size in the shirt, and that's the size we're going to make for you. And then it gets printed. So it really is made to order, limited supplies while they last, because once they're done, that shirt is done, and we move on to the next. So only a few people in the world are going to have these fucking shirts, and that's the seller, right? That's the thing that's going to make people want them. You know, one of 100 in a world filled with billions of trillions of t-shirts. Huh? But people are going to have to get them all. So their friends are like, dude, where do you get these cool Lake Elsinore shirts? Where in the world? From Elsinore. I get them from Elsinore Brothers Studio, right? And then we'll take a poll after we finish 100 of one shirt, one design in that color. And after we've gone way down the road, well, let's hold a poll. Who wants us to repeat this design for another 100 in a different color? And then what's the color we're going to, one color, what are we going to choose? You know, it has to be like that so that it's a limited supply, limited edition, you know, keeping it real. And then we'll take some votes, and then I'll decide, okay, this is the one we're going to do. We got 3 to choose from. Which one do you want? And then show some mock-ups. Yeah. I'm just so excited about this first t-shirt, and having worked all day yesterday on the next one and getting that graphic ready. Oh man, it's coming close. I should have shirts in the mail by, I'm hoping the end of next week I should have shirts. I was hoping this week, but we had to rework that graphic, right? And I love doing the graphics, right? It's like I've decided, all right, I'm not giving them any of the graphics to do. I'm going to do them all myself, baby. I'll give them the mock-up so they know what it's going to look like when it's finished. But I'll do all of the work on the actual design of the thing, and then creating the graphics for the screen to be made from. And then here's what it's going to look like finished. Here's the colors. Here's the thing going on. Yeah, that's going to be great. There are a couple that are going to be limited edition that are just going to knock people's socks off, really. Just going to knock people's socks off. Yeah, I can't wait to start bringing some of this stuff out into the light. I got this file on my computer. I've got these graphics that I'm creating and then having to retool for the screen printer to create the screens from. So I'm learning. I'm learning. When I get done with the next few shirts, I'm going to be really good at this. I'm going to start designing my own shirts, right? And I'll just say, contact me for a shirt. That's it. It'll be simple as that. You contact me for a shirt, and I send you the information. And you send me, I send you. You send me, I send you. And it's just going to be like that. And if I can fund more than just the reunion on shirts, then I'm going to do that. I'll have reunion shirts funding the reunion, and then I'll have channel shirts funding the channel, and then project shirts funding different projects, right? Why not? And I'll just create these great, funny shirts, great novelty, great throwback, nostalgic, and see what happens. And just try to do original throwback stuff, Remember this from back then? It's no longer around, but here's a shirt. Because you see a lot of that out there, right? You can buy a Noggles shirt, right? But you can't buy a shirt from a store back in our hometown that's no longer there, right? So creating those elements with the past slant on them, that's neat, that's fun. So yeah, the phase that I'm in right now is it's still making content for the channel, still uploading that borrowed content. It's still about creating new content, just not as quick as I'd like. Most of the creating I do is to enhance the borrowed stuff that I use. But shirt production and shirt revenue, fundraising, I think that's going to be pretty much on my plate all the time. Mainly because I need to get it rolling really fast, and I need it to explode I need a lot of money coming out of this thing really quick. I'm getting to the point to where I want to put a down payment on the house. I'm getting to the point to where I want to put a down payment on the music, the entertainment, right? So that they lock me in for those dates. I don't want them to get a better paying gig, right? Or a better gig. I want them to know that it's not just about getting paid to be there for that night, but you have the opportunity to stay for the whole week and enjoy everything that weekend has to offer. That's it. Plus the other perks, the swag and whatever. Looks like I dropped a few frames earlier. Don't know why. Don't know why. There's no sun up in the sky. Stormy weather. Since my baby and I ain't together. It's raining all the time. That'll be on the show tonight. Stormy weather for sure. Billie Holiday. Let's see who's going to be on the show tonight. Jack Smith, Smith Ballou, Billie Holiday, Bessie Smith. Let's see. Ruth Etting. Yeah, so many others. I get confused. It boggles the mind how many new and old, like Mae Questel, new Helen Kane, new artists and stuff that I found out about and just fell in love with. So that's pretty cool. Yeah. All right, let me go check, see if the dog's ready. Check this door here. Go in there then. Everybody's in there. Hi, wow. Well, yeah, about 20 minutes left of the show here. Dogs are awake, wife's awake, kid's still asleep, but most of the house is awake. So now I think it's time to, we'll start thinking about wrapping this show up here in the next 15 or 20 minutes and moving on. I know I went on a little longer yesterday because I just couldn't shut the hell up. Was it yesterday? No, the last time I was on. I don't remember when the fuck that was. I don't remember shit. This week's been kind of a blur. I think I've been on here, twice? Tuesday and today, right? Is that it? Yeah, baby. We went to the park the other evening. We got in there kind of late. Got to watch the sunset, drive around in the park at night, which is pretty weird. It's really actually kind of nice. It reminds me of the old days when all the roads around here were like that, just a little 2-lane road bobbing and weaving through the hills, you know. They flattened everything out and made it 8 lanes wide and shit now. But still, the parks, most national parks and state parks are still little tiny roads, little pull-outs and stuff. So that's pretty cool. And it's really fun to do it at night because there's no lights out there at all, just your headlights, just the other vehicles. Nothing. Really dark. Kind of spooky. But it's fun. It's really fun out there, you know. So we went for a little bit of a walk. My knee gave out. I felt, it climbed up too high and then had to come down. It was the coming down that did it because all of my weight pushing down on these stupid old knees just did it. And I came down once too hard on my right knee, and it was like a ice pick right up under the kneecap, you know. And every step I took from then on was this jagged glass-like feeling in my kneecap. So I had to walk funny to avoid putting that particular bend in it. And then it was okay, but I'm turning around and start walking back. Maybe if I start now, we can get to the car at the same time, right? And you won't have to wait for me. But of course I stopped a couple of times and checked out the area because it's so nice out there. Found some really cool spots up in the rocks that had I been a little bit younger and able-bodied, I probably would have trucked up into the hills and checked them out, you know. It's not the kind of place that you want to. It would be really, if I were young, I wouldn't hesitate. I'd jump up in there, I'd find a spot in one of those caves, I'd set up a little camp, and I'd be there, man. I'd fucking be there with no hesitation, no thought of coyotes, spiders, snakes, scorpions. I would just be there, right? And just deal with it as it comes. Nowadays, I'd be like, oh, hell no. You couldn't pay me to fucking go sit up there in the middle of the night with all of that shit crawling around on top of you. Fuck that. No. I'm not going to go there. But, yeah, thinking back to when we were kids, man, we used to just grab a bag full of shit and a little bit of food, and we'd just take off up into the mountains. And just hike, get up there, stay the night, hike over to the highway, and then hitchhike back down the mountain, you know, at 5, 6 in the morning, foggy as hell,
you know, get picked up by who knows what. Yeah, we're just going right. We're just going right there. That's good. That's fine. Yeah, just drop us here. Some crazy shit, man. You can't do that nowadays. You can't. Right? There are a few. But most people are like, oh my God, I'm not sleeping there. No way. Oh my God, where's my bed? Yeah. Try being homeless a while. You get used to a lot of shit. But, no, man. There's no way I'd sleep out. Even at one of those campgrounds in a tent. I mean, who knows what's going to crawl into your fucking tent? You know? Fuck that. Scorpions. We kill some pretty good-sized fucking scorpions out here. You don't want to wake up with one of those crawling across your face going, hey, dude, make me a bologna sandwich. Fuck that. Or I'll pinch your nose. It's wild. Believe me, the desert is a wild place. No. What do you say, Ace? That's what I thought you'd say. So what are we going to do next week? Next week is Halloween. I'll probably be in... I'll be here. Because I'll probably be here as long as I'm going to be here. So we will not be entering a hiatus period until sometime in early November. And then it'll just be gone, right? Just be unplugged. Well, the live stuff anyway. It'll get weird for a while and then it'll come back. But I'm just here until I'm not. How's that? Let's just put it like that. So I'm going to do that for a while. And all next week is Halloween week for 4 days up until Thursday, Halloween night. So we're going to be doing Halloween stuff all week. I'll be in costume all week. And then Friday especially. Ace, of course, he's had his costume on pretty much most of the month here. So yeah, I can't wait to see what we have in store. See if we can come up with some animated stuff to watch. See if we can come up with a really good Halloween themed video time machine. We won't be doing any more Friday night nonsense and nostalgia for a while. Not until I retool the show to have its own graphics with the audio. So each song, each artist will have their own graphic, right? And that's going to take some shoehorning. But mainly it's just going to take memory on the computer and being able to punch up graphics and bring them over. And I may create little individual videos for each song with the artist photograph and then the artist name and then the song title and the year and do that like something like that. So each song then becomes its own little music video in a way, depending on how many photographs I can gather of that particular artist. It'll kind of be like watching the music channel on cable or on the satellite where you're listening to a song and they're like blasting up photographs of the artist today and yesterday and the little captions about what they're doing and what they did and stuff about their records. I don't think I'm going to go that far. I think if I can put together a little graphic for each artist and then be able to add in the text for whatever that song is, right? Title and year and whatnot, pertinent information. I think that'll be enough, and that'll be enough to give each
musical segment a little bit of a boost. So rather than just looking at this the whole time, we can blend into back and forth from this into like actual almost music videos, right? So I'll be spending a lot of time taking that's just 400 songs or something. That's too much. So I'll probably just be creating some graphics for the artist. Like, here's the artist. I'll figure out a way that I can just type up text onto the screen, and then I can just say, okay, type this up while it's playing, and then hit enter, and then it just pops up on the screen. That would be the easiest thing to do, right? Really. I probably have the technology to do that here at my fingertips, but I don't know what I'm doing. I feel like a goober sometimes because I just don't know what I'm doing. So I need to take a little time and sit and figure out what I'm doing. That, and I'd like to take the keyboard, learn some music on the keyboard, but also be able to program the keyboard to play sounds and special effects and music and stuff at the press of a key. So I can use it here on the channel and through and for video editing, right? I've always wanted, since my father created a radio show, an old-time radio vintage style actual 30-minute show, and it was an homage to World War II and to the radio plays of old. And he starred in it as two characters. He got Mom to be in it as two characters. He got his best friend, Black Steve, to get to be two characters in it. And so with that and a whole bunch of special effects and some music from old records and stuff, he was able to put together this radio show. And it was just one episode. And it was like a World War II spy espionage thing. And it was really cool. And since he did that back in 1972 or something, I've always wanted to do the same thing. Just do a little radio show, not like a full-time series, just a one-off show. Make it seem like it's part of a serial. So, it's like, well, where was all of the episodes before and all the episodes after? It's just one show, So I wanted to have that feel like it's been on forever, and you're just grabbing one episode of hundreds and listening to it, right? So I want to create something like that. And most of all, I want to do most of the voices. That's the important part, is to do most of the voices. So I got to get some kind of voice altering, voice enhancing thing, which more than likely is some little free app on the phone that I'll just use to record stuff and then, alter it and then pop it into the computer, add it into the radio play. Because it's not going to be a live production. It'll just be an edited version of whatever kind of show that I write, I imagine it'll have a science fiction fantasy slant to it, right? It would be great if it had a science fiction fantasy slant, but also was a detective noir type thing, right?
Yeah, he looked at me. He looked at me with those big brown eyes burning into my soul, and then he pulled his laser pistol out. Yeah, and then he shot the lamp right next to my head. He told me, "Don't move." And do some kind of a retro thing. Johnny Starr, Space Detective or something. Something weird, something that's got that old school feel. And then just do like a 25, 28 minute, maybe even a whole full 30 minutes, and then do the commercials for it. Try new Bosco with added calcium for your bones, whatever. And put together some products and some stuff. Maybe create some graphics, some special graphics, so that while you're watching the radio show like I do mine,
you know, and it'll just be this one-off thing with its graphics and stuff going on. And just make it feel like it was done a long time ago. I've got some records that are like of rainstorms and thunderstorms and stuff. And while you can barely hear the rain and the thunder coming once in a while, most of what you can hear is record surface noise, right? And so that's, you take that and you add that in the background. Or I can actually find in my sound effects 30 minutes of record noise, just surface noise, static and glitching and you know, stuff, because most of the radio shows, when they played a radio show that's syndicated, we would just get records in the mail, and you would just play those records on the air, and it was a full record, 30-minute, you know, show, and it would have half on one side and half on the other, you know, and you would just play the first part, and then, okay, we're going to go to commercial, and you'd flip the record over, and you'd go, we're back to the show, and that was it. Bada bing. So it'll be the same kind of thing. And then what I'll do is you have that record where it sounds like and that kind of goes away towards the end. And then when you start the second half of the show, the stuff is back again because you're on the other side. It's the other, and then the glitches and the static and stuff have to be slightly different, you know. Yeah, because if you listen to that old stuff, you know what I'm talking about, right?
Yep. Yes, sirree, Baba Rooney.
Oh, Joey's home. He got home when I started my show. Said hi. All good. Yeah. So that's one of those bucket list things that I'd like to do, is do a one-off radio play. And do most of the voices, if not all of the voices, using some kind of voice-altering thing, so that if I want to do a woman, I can do it as best I can and then alter my voice a little bit through the technology so that I can actually become the voice of that woman, right? Or child, right? And then just kind of try to write something simple and fun and adventurous, something that sounds like, you know, this is, you got a group of writers that write this every week, and this is the best they came up with this week, that kind of a thing, you know. Nothing fancy, just one of those shows that's on all the time, something forgotten, that's why there's only one copy of one episode, you know. Put that together, put that on the channel, you know, and create some fake writers, fake director, you know, produced by this fake product, but make it all sound perfectly feasible. This is perfectly real. And then put it out there and then see how many comments I get from people like, hey, you know, I searched for this and I could not find it. This must be really obscure. How'd you find this? And that kind of shit. And see how many people fall into that trap. Because it'll just be a trap, you know. I'm catfishing. No, it'll just be one of those weird things out there. And if that works, I might do some video that way. You know, shoot some video mixed with some old videos so you can't really tell, well, what the hell's going on, you know. And then I may take everything that I have with me in it, all the live stuff, mostly live stuff, and then make it so that you have to be a subscriber in order to view it, right? So take all of the last 3 seasons of this and make it subscriber only, so that all of the other stuff there is kind of easy, family-friendly stuff that you can watch. Anybody can watch it. But it has none of me in it, so that when I do create these weird, obscure, vintage, retro feel videos, I'll kind of be a new element, right, to the new viewers. The people who are just in passing, who aren't subscribers, I'm not going to subscribe to this shit. Or maybe they'll subscribe. Maybe I'll get more subscribers with me hidden. And then once they find out who I am and what I'm, then I'll probably lose more subscribers. It'll be a revolving door of subscribers. It's like, ooh, I'll subscribe to this guy because he's got cool old radio shows and old movies and stuff. And then they subscribe, and then they get my live stuff, and they get to watch that. And then they'll be like, what did I get myself into? Jeez, this guy's a kook. I'm out of here, right? Oh, man, that's just too much. All right, people, it is, you know what time it is. It's frickin' 8 o'clock in the morning. That's time to get the hell out of here. That's time for me to say, you know what time it is, and you know what to do, people. You need to get out there in the world and do something for yourself, but do something for somebody else, too. Why? Because it's not just your world. It's our world. So get out there and help. Spread peace and love, not bullshit, not war. But most especially, people, stay weird, because if you ain't weird, ain't nobody gonna do it for you. All right, love you. Adios.